Welcome to the podcast, because I get bored and I decide to make new things. GunGamers Podcast, episode 26, with our guests, Derrick of both the ASAP Podcast and MoeGuns, and then Cole of the ASAP Podcast. Got my co-host Dan and the glorious Desert Tiger Stripe. How are you guys doing today?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Doing good, man.
Doing good, man.
Awesome, man. Talked about a lot before they started the podcast.
Let's start that all over. Let's start that all over again.
Yeah, man. So
I'm down.
It is a quiet time to be a podcast host in Airsoft, or just being part of Airsoft news at all. Fix audio. What the fuck? Oh, echoes.
God damn it, Ian.
Aha! I know what the problem is. Here we go.
Oh.
Sure.
Dude, audio fixes in this shit is such a fucking pain in the ass.
Okay. Kevin, am I better? I've got RGK screaming at me.
Oh, everyone else is echoing, and you are low.
Everyone else is echoing, and I am low.
I mean, according to Kevin.
This feels familiar, Derrick, doesn't it?
Oh, so familiar.
The fucking the plight of being an Airsoft podcast host. We are better. We're good. Okay.
At Shot Show, I had a podcast, and we decided, you know what, we're not going to do it live. There's just too much stuff. We're just going to record it normally and then post it later. And I did, and it was great. Fantastic podcast. And then afterwards, went to go check the laptop. All right, let's go look at that. Oops, laptop ran out of memory halfway through podcast.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Shit, maybe we should have live streamed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like to live stream these, because they're always just going to be up on the fucking channel. No, I mean, being a podcast host in Airsoft is rife with problems, because I don't have the budget to get myself a fucking young Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast or anything. We've had someone offer to do it, but I'm also like, this is my baby. I don't want to hand it over to anyone else to fuck with it.
We were the exact opposite. Fucking Milsom Kate was like, "Can I help out in the background?" We're like, "Fuck yes, please, God,
well,
take it."
The difference is you guys usually have like 6 or 7 people on, right?
Yeah, it's a complete gaggle of fucks. There's way too many chefs in that kitchen.
Keep it at 5 maxed, because any more, and like the personalities in our group are just gonna be screaming over each other because everybody's hammered by the end of the podcast. So it's always like, all right, this is a good time to call this, and that's usually at about 2 hours in.
Yeah, I can't drink on the podcast anymore because like I fell asleep one time. Kicked Josh Warren off the first time we had him on.
He got a little drunk and just kicked Josh Warren off. We're in conversation. No. Drunk Cole's like, okay, thanks for having you on.
Boop.
Wow.
We had a Cass on one time, and he got hammered.
God. Yes.
And he was saying something about wanting to either fight or have a drinking contest with Eric.
The gravel pit. He wants the gravel pit, and he wants that's my drinking buddy at Fence, man.
Oh, he's awesome. But like, I don't know if he's ever seen Eric. Eric is an enormous human being. I'm not sure if he could outdrink Eric.
He can't, because he can't outdrink me. Fun story. We went to Iron Horse, which was the event at the Guardian Center, and we were staying at a buddy's house at the time, and he and I killed an entire handle buffalo trace, and I had to carry him upstairs.
Oh no.
Or like arm under arm, just like stumble. He's big, and he's a big dude. He's like 6'3", 6'4", probably 220, 230. Like he's a large.
So maybe
he's a large.
Eric.
Yeah.
He's a large chocolate gentleman. He's a big boy. So but we had to. We helped him go upstairs, and he's had to throw me over his shoulder before though, and take me to bed. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, it goes in spades.
Yeah,
I got you.
At least it's fair.
I don't have any stories like that. I blacked out at a death metal concert one time because I had drank too much previously, and that was part of like an entire Airsoft weekend. But I don't have anything like that. I generally don't get too hammered at events. Yeah, you were.
I was horrendously disappointed, is what I was.
Yeah.
I was so hungover at Broken Home one time that I had to like dig a little trench next to myself and throw up in it and cover it. Keep playing. Like in the middle of a firefight. I think Derrick was there for that one. I was just like,
wow, that was a good one. It was like 100 degrees.
Fuck that.
So fucking hot.
I think the idea of Broken Home not in the blazing Oklahoma heat sounds fun. Same with Copperhead.
It's October this year.
That's why I like Western New York, man. Like the Northeast for events is either nice and nice and cool, or frigidly cold and horrible. I almost died at an event in Pennsylvania one time because it got down to like 32 degrees and like pouring rain in the middle of the night, and it was a 40-hour event, so we were sleeping through.
Fuck, you missed Saratov 3. I think the first night it was like 18 degrees or something like that. It got stupid cold, and it was fun.
Yeah, you were saying that like there was like a 75% dropout rate for that event, right?
I can't remember what it was. I know I was really surprised that a lot of people who were in obviously better shape than me were dropping out really quick. Because the first night, like I thought the second night was worse, but it was because we were on top of a hill. But the first night, I can't remember if it was 10 or 18 Fahrenheit. And it was just ridiculously cold. And half the people were not prepared for it. Like everybody seems to think that West Virginia is warm, even in November, and it sure as shit ain't. So I think there were a fair number of people that dropped out of that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm not the type to, quit out of an event that I fucking paid for. I'm just too goddamn cheap to do that. But that's a little cold for my liking, man. I'm good.
It's the cold that gets to people. The moment you start getting really cold, you stop having fun, and a lot of people come with the mindset of I'm just here to have fun, and this isn't fun. I'm going to a hotel.
Made it great to be a fat dude. Because fuck was I. It was the perfect temperature for me all fucking weekend. Great.
I'm starting to kill the dad bod now, so I'm kind of scared I'm going to start to get cold again at events. So like,
but you'll be better in warm events, right?
That's true. I mean, I'm down 18 pounds from the last fucking event we went to, and I was fucking dying. I almost heat cast that last one. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to not be as fat as I once was. It's mainly so I'm trying to be able to pass a fucking PT test when I go back to the Army.
Yeah, you might like have to do that, right?
Oh yeah. If I want to go back to Afghanistan, yeah.
See, the heat I can handle. Like I live in Texas. I'm gonna go play tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like 107. But it drops below like 40 degrees at a game, and I'm like dropping fucking hot hand warmers down my pants and bitching the entire time. Like I'm such a little girl when it comes to cold weather.
Oh, Cole, like, if you make it up to Jackal here in Colorado, you better bring a warm sleeping bag.
I'm going to. I'm just gonna grab fucking Carl and shove him in my pants and just rub my legs, keep me warm, Carl. God damn it.
Anything above 15 degrees, I'm good. But anything once it starts to get into those negatives, I don't like it. I've been to like Jericho Training Center up in Vermont during the winter, and that's like the Mountain Warfare Training Center. It was I wanted to die.
It's those places where they're like, you walk outside and they're like, hey, just a hot tip to put your phone and put it on your most inner piece of clothing, otherwise it's gonna shatter. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse the fuck out of you.
I've seen that at Fort Drum because the wind chill was getting down to like negative 30 Fahrenheit. And I'm like, negative 30, like Fahrenheit or Celsius? And they're like, it doesn't matter.
I think once you get to minus 50, it's the same in both fucking Fahrenheit and Celsius anyways. So
I've
you're
never
on your
seen
way.
minus 50, but you're from Canada, so I'm sure that the times
I have seen minus 50, but it was not in Canada. It was in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it got, like 2 years ago, it got so cold that while running, the fuel in my truck froze, and my truck...
Fuck.
Yeah, it was a sketchy situation.
No.
Dude, you must have been goddamn terrified.
That's some day after tomorrow bullshit.
Yeah, I was because it was like almost in Missouri in Illinois, so it's like I'm in like my least favorite part of the country. Like there's nothing fun for me there, and it's like I really don't want to die out in the middle of a fucking cornfield. Yeah. So I got lucky that there were
not like
vehicles.
This.
Yeah, no, not like this.
Like 35 minutes outside of Hammer Murder capital of the world, St. Louis. Just like I don't want to die here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody's going to find my body after this.
No, they're just going to find the fucking frozen truck that once was yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No,
I got lucky that there was a repair truck that had not frozen to death, and they came by and basically drained all the fuel out of, like, not the fuel tanks, but, like, all of the fuel filters and shit the truck has, and had to change all the filters and everything, and then I was able to move somewhere, but fuck, was it ever cold. I don't wish that on anybody.
Nah.
Fucking, it's usually warmer when I'm in northern Canada, like in the wintertime.
It's always funny though when shit like that happens, because it's always the really shitty, like you froze your ass off or like you were sweating till you died events that you're like, man, that shit was fun. It's that
it's
odd
fun.
Like fucking weird response your brain has where like the suck was just the best part of it.
Especially if it's sucking with your friends. You're like, remember that time we almost died and we hated it? That was a blast.
We talk about how fucking hot Broken Home 4 was, like, all the time. People were dying left and right. We bitching and moaning. I'm hungover as shit the entire time. And that's, like, one of the events I remember the most. And it's something about that, like, vivid connection to just a horrible fucking weekend of my life.
It was not an
Just
enjoyable
awful.
experience, but it was fun.
The ticks that I was pulling off were drunk, man. Fucking nobody had a good time with that bitch.
Dude,
Well, a
fuck.
lot of it's hindsight too, right? Like, it's the same. Most of the weekend at Milsom West, like in November, I wished for death, right? Like, just we did a lot of rucking. It was cold. There was, again, I'm a fat dude. I'm not in good shape. But in hindsight, thinking back on it, it's like, oh my fucking God, that was the coolest event I've ever been to.
It doesn't help that you were dragging ass behind, like, I don't know, an active duty Green Beret who's expecting you to be like, all right, come on, guys.
No,
Including the fat guy over there.
Crumley was was probably the main reason Nick and I stuck it out, because he's just sitting there talking to us, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's like, oh yeah, I know. And I go on like when I'm deployed, I'm like, well, what do you do? I'm a Green Beret. I'm like, you're a what?
Yeah.
So fucking Green Beret just putting along at the back of the pack with me, you know, the two big guys, just keeping us company and kind of
You and
telling
Nick,
us stories,
gentlemen
right?
of sizable girth, yeah.
He's fucking enormous refrigerator men, and that's, you know, Crumley could be at the front doing all of the cool shit with all of the fast guys, and yet there he is doing all of the boring shit with all of the fat guys, and it's like, that's, God bless Crumley. He's a good guy. Like, he's a large part of why we made it through, especially like Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. Come Saturday night, it's like we're in the home stretch. That Sunday is, we're gonna just throw a bunch of BBs at each other, guaranteed, and run from fucking tactical battle cows all morning, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Tactical.
There were cows on the field, and they ended up in the middle of the firefight, and got, from what I gathered, disoriented and started chasing people around.
I would say they'll charge your ass.
Well, yeah. One guy goes sprinting. One of the fucking British guys is sprinting down the hill, and there's a cow chasing after him. All right, I'm gonna stay dead.
It gets infinitely worse when your asshole buddies figure out that cows react to laser pointers or pack boxes like cats do.
Oh,
they get really interested in them. Yeah, they'll go after them. It's fucking funny as shit.
I've never had something like that happen, but I have been at an event at Seneca Army Depot, which is like, you know, former Army Depot. It's in the name, but there's a children's daycare on the property directly next to it, and for some reason the event host sanctioned us to go fight there, and I like see 5 or 6 kids just like at the border fence, just kind of peeking over, like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh, this is not good. So, you know,
yeah.
I go over to them and I tell them, like, hey guys, you probably shouldn't be standing here. There's like BBs and tag-in shells and shit flying everywhere, and we probably shouldn't be here either. I think our event host is just a fucking retard, but you know.
4-year-old just gets beefed with a tag and round from the other side of the
Yeah.
fence. Funk.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, he'll never do it again.
Yeah. Never gonna look over that fence again.
No, that'll learn him good. Oh fuck, I hate kids so
You ever
much.
seen a 6-year-old with PTSD? You're about to.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
man,
Get a kid with fucking nom flashbacks anytime he goes to daycare. Good god.
can't ever play fucking badminton again because the fucking shuttlecock looks like a fucking tag-in flying at you.
Oh
Oh
Jesus.
fuck,
Oh
kid
man.
was gonna be a pro badminton player and he just fucked it all up.
Ruined his hopes. Ruined his
Yeah,
hopes.
his career's over.
Just destroyed this potential Olympic athlete, you fucks.
Yeah, fucking badminton.
So you guys are both hosts of the ASAP podcast, which was supposed to be on tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we were going to. It's funny because we're so professional that we found out like, what was it, like noon today, Derrick, that nobody else was going to be able to get on but you and me. And so we were like, yeah, fuck it. We're not gonna do a live show for 4 hours between this one and ours.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. I mean, I've done a 4-hour podcast before, and it makes me want to kill myself. But
Yeah.
no,
Unless there's a lot of alcohol involved, it becomes a marathon.
I only have so much because we actually have a liquor sponsor for our podcast.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One of our viewers he owns a liquor store, so he just sent us like $800 worth of like really nice liquor. Yeah.
Is he looking to sponsor other podcasts?
I don't know, man. If someone in Jeff Smith, if Jeff Smith is in the chat, go ahead and send our boys at ASAP some liquor. But
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, please.
yeah, I'm drinking some nice George T. Stagg $400 bottle of bourbon right now. But it's
Fucking A.
I fucking love that, dude. I'm gonna keep fucking just like, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this podcast and my drinking is sponsored by Jeff Smith. But
I gotta get him to ship some stuff up fucking north.
he was barely able to ship it to us.
I know.
I'm fairly certain what
liquor,
he did was kind of illegal.
Liquor law
but-
shipping is weird. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
The
None of it ever
ATF
makes
just
any
ruins
sense.
everything.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
I mean, it's only if they catch you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fucking
it's true.
fun police. Yeah.
Fuck. As long
But-
as you don't indicate that you have alcohol in the trunk of your car somewhere. They're not gonna fucking look. Fuck those guys. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're
just
looking for drugs and
just like how certain border securities won't question if you have airsoft guns in the back of your car.
they don't give a fuck. The amount of shit I brought back and forth. What do you got? Airsoft guns. What for? An airsoft game? Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just one of those. Okay, have a good day. See you later.
Exactly.
Well, there was like almost like 6 or 7 years ago when Operation Pine Plains was a thing in Fort Drum. I had a group of
Fort Drum.
Yeah, I know. I had a group of my guys go to that, and there were a lot of hoops they had to go jump through back then. Like there were forms they had to fill out. They had to clear everything with customs. They basically had to treat it as though they were taking a real firearm across the border. And now it's like, I go into customs with a gun bag. They're like, "What do you got? Airsoft?" Okay, throw it on the table. They look at it. Okay, the thing has some serial numbers. They write them down. Okay, fuck off. And we sat there and just bitched about PX4 Storms for 20 minutes because our Canadian Border Authority has to use it.
Gross.
Oh, gross.
But like at the border, again, I'm not advocating that people go and do stupid shit at the border, but it's not terrifying,
Don't get
right?
caught doing stupid shit.
We're not
It's not
saying
even
you
getting-
should. We're just saying
It's-
you can.
As long as you're not doing stupid shit, they're not going to interpret your non-stupid shit as stupid shit. They're
Exactly.
pretty educated on what airsoft is now. I got camping gear, my airsoft equipment, and airsoft markers. The first time I crossed, the guy's like, "Okay, you got markers. Where are the guns?" I'm like, "I just didn't want to use the dirty G word, sir." They're there, right? And they don't care. They're not. They know what airsoft is at this point. It's not like a big, scary deal like it used to be.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's way easier. Well, fuck, look at Dayton, like fucking house gamers. He's from Vancouver or somewhere in British Columbia. Like he's got to cross all the time for his.
He's from somewhere in Canada. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
He's got
I
the
think
accent. Sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, I think he's from British Columbia. So, but same thing, right? He crosses all the time for airsoft, so it's doable. It's pretty easy to do now. It doesn't cost anything.
Having heard the stories of what like Josh has to go through in order to host games in like Mexico and South America.
Yeah,
They just kept all of his shit at the Mexico one, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
For a while,
Like,
yeah.
I think he was like fully expecting to have to bribe somebody for one of them.
yeah.
I remember he's talking about that.
That
Yeah.
border's a little different though.
Yeah, there's talking about building a wall there, but as far as the whole ASAP podcast goes, what was the idea behind it? Where'd the inspiration to actually create something come from?
So Carl and I were driving back from Copperhead. Was it last year? Yeah.
2 years ago. 'Cause
2018?
We've been doing the show for a year and a half now, so it was 2 years
God
ago.
damn. It just won't end.
The nightmare keeps
Yeah.
on rolling.
We were driving back from Copperhead, and it's like 10, 11 hours from where we are in Colorado to Playas, New Mexico. And there's a lot of just empty space in that drive. There's not a lot happening. There's no mountains. It's just flat desert. And we were driving back, and we had a good time. And we're like, "Yo, are there any airsoft podcasts out there?" And we're looking, and there's like a whole bunch on the iTunes store, but a lot of them hadn't been touched in years. The only one that was consistent was the Gorilla podcast. We listened to a couple episodes of that. And then we were thinking, like, we between us and Cole and Corey and some other people, I think we could do a decent job if it really just is getting drunk and talking into a microphone for an hour about airsoft. Between the four of us, we have a handful of entertaining stories. And then from that idea, it took us almost a year before we got our shit together and actually did it.
We
Yeah.
still don't have our shit together though. That's
Yeah.
the funniest part. Yeah, it was like the conception of the idea, and then somewhere along the lines
We started a group chat, and then
Yeah.
it was like 6 months from there before we actually decided to have an episode.
and then we
Yeah.
brought Punk in as the wild card, and that quickly just turned into like one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah,
Punk's absolute blast to have on.
you guys have done a pretty solid job of actually generating like an audience for your podcast. I was super lucky when I started this because like Eric already had like 20,000 subs plus. I'm like, oh, sick! I'm creating something for an already existing audience. We're gonna have fucking viewers off the bat, but now you guys consistently have viewers even from the start.
Yeah, there was definitely interesting uptick. It seemed like we had a couple. I guess we kind of became like the self-proclaimed drama alert of the airsoft community there for a little while. This is like shit would
Because
pop
those
off.
are always the biggest crowds. If
Yeah.
there's some juicy shit happening and you have someone involved with it on the show, people will tune in.
Our biggest podcast is still the one where we had Josh Warren on, and he was just fucking just throwing shit at everybody who existed in the airsoft community.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Because we've had him on what 3 times, Derrick, something like that. And every time, because the most recent time though was he did our show and he did Gorilla and he did you guys. And he did some other like smaller show, and he was just like making the rounds, doing the circuit because I think he was COVID had just hit. And he was trying to keep shit relevant, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do the rounds and piss everybody off that I can." And we were like,
oh boy, did he!
it was like that. I think you asked if he could come on. I sent him that Rick James meme where he's like, from fucking Chappelle Show.
Yeah,
Like, bring that ass over here, boy. Let me see what you got.
well,
But
bring the drama to us. No, and we had to do a second podcast with Freddie because of the shit that Josh stirred up. And to be fair to Freddie, like, we wanted to hear his side of the story as well, but then Josh hopped in the chat of that podcast and everything was
up again.
I think the whole crew, I think all of the ASAP crew was in the chat room for that one. We were watching that. That was definitely a good one. But those are always the fun ones. Like people in airsoft. We were talking about this earlier, but like now that there's not really airsoft games to go to and there's not really shit going on.
Yeah.
Just airsofters seem to want so much controversy that they're like eating themselves now in the groups. Like they're creating their own fucking entertainment at this point, which is never a good idea. It's like a really proto Lord of the Flies situation going on. Like we were talking about the fucking PTS made a post today with Leah in it, and those comments are disgusting.
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking bad, dude.
They're fucking horrible, and and I didn't even know about it. I think it was Kev sent me a snapshot, and he was like, "Dude, go into the comments," and I clicked on it, and I started scrolling. And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
There's some shitty people on the internet. Like, it's apparently a free pass.
Dude, and it's so funny because the airsoft forums and the airsoft pages are all so unbelievably toxic. And then it's all about community building when you meet these people in person. You're like, what the
internet airsoft and IRL airsoft are two very different things.
Yes.
I don't know, man, because like most of the people I meet in person in airsoft are fucking wonderful people, but like any interaction you have with them online is just immediately for some reason turns into some sort of confrontational. Just like, I'm just here to have fun, guy. I honest to God, I could have fun with my friends if I wasn't playing airsoft. Like,
yeah,
I'm just here because I've spent too much money not to be here.
Well, it's exactly like I don't go to the events to play anymore. Like I've just spent too much money on the shit to not go, and I'd rather hang out with these assholes and drink and bullshit and run around and have a good time and pretend that I'm doing something fun. Exactly. I always just tell my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna go play dress up with my friends for the weekend. Like I'll see you later. But somehow that's evolved into and you see it in like all aspects of the community. You see it in the local kids, you see it in the mill simmers, you see it in the speed softers, where there's this weird like mentality that if you've got good gear and you've got good kit and you play a lot, like somehow you're a hard son of a bitch.
Anybody who puts on a plate carrier immediately becomes the fucking just like a god on the battlefield. It's like, dude, you're 15 years old, you're 35 pounds overweight, you're trying to fucking step to me. Like, get out of here, son. What are you doing?
Yeah. But it's nuts, and you get on both sides. You get the kids who take it way too seriously, and you get the kids who don't take it like seriously at all, and they're just there to troll and meme people, and it's like it's a really weird mix. And it's one of the only communities I've ever been a part of where like there was a very definite line where it's like, all right, you've got your shit posters over here, and you've got your normal people over here, and there's really no in between.
There is no in between, and I've noticed that I've noticed that the group of people that is normal people far smaller than the shit posters.
Itty bitty community.
Derrick, community.
Like the shit. And I feel like it's in the gun community some too, because like the shit Derrick has to deal with on his MoeGuns page is wild. Like that is, you need an award sent to your house from like whoever owns the internet every single fucking year for the crap that you have to deal with.
There's some crazy fucking people on the internet.
I've been invited to the Point Gun at Venus Facebook group more times than I care to admit, and I don't want to be in there. Like some of it's funny. It's just like, haha, you point a gun at your dick.
It's a show to watch.
Yeah. It's like watching a train wreck. It's like you can't look away, but you don't want to look at it. Especially that dude who shot himself in the dick the other day.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for ever
Flew
since I
around
joined.
through
Like,
his nuts or
eventually,
whatever?
someone's gonna
God.
blast it, and not only that, they're gonna then post it.
Yeah, exactly. So this dude
Finally
shot
happened.
himself in the scrotum with a 45 ACP. How he still has anything down there?
Yeah,
blown
there
away.
shouldn't be much of a scrotum left.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
That caliber won 2 world wars. He shouldn't have a half side, or he shouldn't have the bottom half of his body.
God damn. I don't know. I mean, again, a lot of my life experience now is unfortunately truck driving, and
Yeah.
like, there's like when it comes to like online social media stuff, it's like frighteningly the same. Like, there's a large group of people that are like normal, and then there are a massive amount of shitheads on like every end of things. And I think a lot of it is the internet again gives even if your name and half of your Facebook information is broadcasted, people still think that they're afforded like some sort of anonymity, so they get shittier than they otherwise would be. Because again, I really at any actual game I've ever been to, and you guys could probably say the same thing, people don't really get that shitty in person.
No,
Right?
like people get spicy like in the middle of games, but generally there's a catalyst for that. Like it's like it's like 105 out and adrenaline's pumping and people are doing dumb shit. Guys get in an argument and then they squash it like 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not going to have people just like screaming horrendous shit like it's a Modern Warfare 2 lobby at you from across the map.
Nobody's saying that shit to Leah in person. Right?
No.
That's the thing. We had fucking like Leah and Femme Fatale, like Kelly from Femme Fatale, and Becca, and then Sisu and Kaleon for like their own Women of Airsoft podcast, and just some of the shit that they have to deal with is fucking horrendous. Oh my god, dude!
And those girls can handle themselves too. They know what the fuck's up. Like they handle it better than fucking probably we do. Like if I had to deal with half the shit they do, I'd probably like cry myself to sleep at least.
If I had to deal with the number of dick pics that even the like lesbian in that group has to deal with, I'd be like, why? I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's hard.
No.
When you got to categorize your dick pics that you're receiving. Airsofters, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder, Bumble.
Has the unsolicited dick pic ever worked for anyone ever?
No.
Like, I wasn't gonna talk to you, but then I saw that that dick pic I didn't ask for. I'm like, hey,
the lighting, excellent. The angle was fantastic. You seemed like a man of means. I think I would like to. Yeah, like no.
Like maybe the first guy ever to send an unsolicited dick pic, it worked, and that's why it's so popular. I don't know.
Exactly. To everybody in the chat who's thinking about sending an unsolicited dick pic, like what women, because I've got plenty of women friends, and what they do when they receive one is, hey, take a look at this, and then all of their friends laugh, and they've seen your dick.
Yeah.
There's nothing good about it.
No, there's no flattering angle. It's not a thing.
It's not. The penis doesn't photograph well.
Most girls share solicited dick pics. Yes. Okay. So if you're sending one to them and they don't want it, you bet your fucking ass everybody around them is going to see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked, what's the make of the Tiger Stripe BDU I'm wearing? It is a just regular Rothko Tiger Stripe top that's been Cry field modded. But yeah, no, I mean, it's shitty, man. It's crazy, almost as crazy as the 1 joule. What is it? Energy limit 1 joule. Shit. That
energy limit 1 joule.
What?
It's just a desk ornament now. But let's see.
Get it framed already.
So to be honest, that's an actual 416 lower, correct?
Yes.
And someone Cerakoted
that they ruined it.
Outlaw and.
Oh, we lost you. What was that?
You broke up.
I shouldn't have touched his mic.
Oh, he's gone now.
Yeah, you're gone.
But yes, so I sent this, for anyone that doesn't know the story, I sent my actual MR556 lower and a real German 416 upper to a company that I had found that does anodizing, because I wanted to do like the new modern 416s. They aren't Cerakoted there.
It's like the RAL 8000 or whatever.
Yeah, they're anodized like that from the factory. And there's not a lot of places that will do anodizing. Like, it's hard to find. So I found this place. They had a decent price, a good turnaround rate. They had done some other tan-colored anodizing stuff before. Sweet. Send it in. I was originally quoted at like 3 to 4 weeks, but then that turned into like 6 months.
Yeah.
Before they finally sent it back, after I had to have someone physically go to their shop to have them send it back because they didn't want to. And they said they could also do the engraving. And they had done 416 engraving before, and it turned out good. But for whatever reason, whoever did it that day and they had the actual HK files, like to do the legit engraving with the font and all that stuff. They had the files. I don't know why, but I guess they just decided to wing it, and they just Googled, TAN 416, and they pulled up an Elite Force. God knows. I want to say it was French or something like that.
Oh no!
And there's a sticker on the side of the receiver that says Energy Max 1 joules, and they included that in the engraving.
Wow.
And
how
along
much
with
how much does an MR556 lower run, by the way?
God, like $500-600.
Oh,
It's worth a shitload more now, though.
For the meme.
It became the main gun, because what I was gonna do is I always grab the mic and scream about outlaw anodizing be a bunch of degenerate fucking retards. Because those are the dude.
If you need something anodized, do not send it to Outlaw.
There was at one point in time I was like, they're in Houston, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I need to get like 5-10 people and just roll on them. Just busting that shop like, hey.
Because there for a while he ghosted me. He stopped responding to my messages, 6 months into a 1 month turnaround originally. He's like, yo, where's my shit? I sent you a lot of money in guns. Yeah. Where is it? And he just started leaving me on red. And so then I had a local friend that lived nearby physically go by their shop and say, hey, you need to send this back now.
Yeah.
And they did.
Wow.
I've got something similar going on, actually. When I was in Afghanistan, I was working with some cool guys, and I had some Desert Tiger Stripe stuff that I was given. Because I was in Coast Province, and they were Desert Tiger Stripe there. I wanted a plate carrier to match that. And there's a company that I'm not going to name because they actually have done right by me so far that said that they'd make me a very special plate carrier in Desert Tiger Stripe. So they said, yeah, it'll run us probably about 12 weeks to 16 weeks to get it completely finished and shipped to you. I'm like, cool, because I added a bunch of neat stuff, an entire pouch set, a back panel, all that kind of stuff. I am still waiting for it. It has been since November when I ordered it. It has been 9 months.
Ooh.
And they have told me that they were going to ship it the next day 4 fucking times. Now, to be fair, they've made me a lot of extra shit to go with it. I think that they're just so backed up that they don't have. They might not even have enough material to do it, dude. I don't fucking know. I'm waiting on it. I paid $1,000 for this fucking plate carrier, and I'm starting to get fucking furious. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be like serial number 1 from this relatively well-known company of this very nice plate carrier, but I want my shit.
Understandable.
What, Derrick, didn't they send you a message at one time? They were like, for the love of God, please don't put this on the internet.
Yeah, after they sent me the picture, because like they wouldn't send me any pictures. I didn't see any progress pics of what was happening, of the colors, the engraving, anything like that. So it's not until they're finally shipping it, they're like, okay, here's your stuff, here's a picture. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, the color's not what I asked for, but it's okay. I can live with it. And then you have zoom in, like, what's that engraving on the mag? Well, that's not supposed to be there.
Energy limit 1 joule.
Yes, 1 joule, and it's become such a meme.
Are you gonna do anything with that or no?
I don't know. They did send me the internet blew up enough because I finally said, all right, fuck these guys. I posted it and I tagged them. And I said what was happening, and like the post went viral. Some bullshit. They said if you'll stop fucking with us, or if you stop they said I was harassing him. If you stop harassing us online, I'll get you a replacement lower. So I'm like, okay, fine. Give me a replacement lower, but don't touch it. I don't want you to fuck it up again. Just give me a replacement lower. So then they sent me a replacement lower that they also fucked up, but just slightly.
And they wanted
less.
you to pay for it too, right? And they wanted to keep the old one. They wanted to pay for the new one and keep one.
You don't get to.
Like, yeah, they're like, why would we?
What are you talking about? They ruined your other lower.
They ruined.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, it's only cosmetic. It's still fine. Why should you get 2 lowers out of it? Like, because you ruined.
Because I paid for a process that you fucked up.
Whenever that happened and you were reading that, I just pictured you like with your finger hovering above like the MoeGuns shitpost nuke button. Like, you're gonna see this happen.
I tried. I was nice with them. I was very patient for several months, and then it was at first when they started ghosting me that I first started calling them out online. Then they responded, and then it was after that bullshit that I'm like, okay.
Have you considered making it like an Energy Max Limit 1 joule T-shirt for your website?
I probably should.
you
It's
gotta
such a
play it.
meme.
Good idea.
I can't escape it. Like, it was a funny meme for a while, but man, it's just I can't escape it. This week I bought a different AR-15 upper from just a random dude on Tax Swap. Didn't know him, didn't talk to him, and then he ships it, and he got here, must have seen my name on the shipping address and recognized me because on the upper there's a piece of duct tape that was scrawled Energy Max 1 joules.
Dude,
Yeah, you might as well just play into it because
I know.
it's gonna follow you
I'm with
forever.
it.
You might as
don't
well
get me
just
wrong,
own
I'd
it.
be furious, but I'd also like
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
laugh a little bit at that kind of shit.
It came out like it was good in the end. I got the gun back. It works. I have the meme and the funny story. I'm debating if I want to
gotta
like
frame
build
it.
this into another gun or just shadow box it and put it on the wall.
You got a shadow box.
Nah,
it.
you got to
That's
use
the only-
exclusively like airsoft furniture for it. Like start throwing.
I also heard that turn it into an airsoft gun.
I still want you to turn it into a real gun, and then you do the chrono thing with Carl, where you just get an old chrono and just beef like actual rounds through.
Yeah, start putting fucking
blow it into
M855
pieces.
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I'm thinking is you start putting like
That's
a
hot.
PTS
Want to
pistol
see what
grip.
1 joule can do? Just fucking just disintegrate it.
Now you got a PTS pistol grip, PTS stock, PTS rail. Just pretend it's an airsoft gun.
That'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
Just watch it.
don't
Just
don't
come
actually
apart.
mix it up with your airsoft gun.
Yeah, don't actually mix it up with airsoft guns. That'd be bad.
Yeah.
How
Fucking
bad.
import.
It'd be shooting a little hot.
Shoot a little toasty.
Bit. Yeah.
Hopefully they're wearing that good old AR-500
Yeah, what's that clocking
body
at?
armor.
About 3,100 feet per second.
Oh Jesus!
It's 1 joule, right?
If we want to take a second to talk about AR-500 body armor and how fucking garbage that shit is, I would be glad to talk about that.
Come on now. It's
Dude, I
amazing.
ordered. I'm still waiting on my Heskos to show up. I guess they had some kind of fucking fire at their factory or something some months
Oh, wow.
back.
It took me 45 days to get a pair of like level 4 Heskos, like the hybrid polyethylene.
Yeah, I've been waiting
silica
fucking
ceramic ones.
7 weeks at this point.
Jesus.
Yeah, and like I know the guy who's like does the company and everything, so like I trust him. Like I know he just can't get his hands on them. But it's one of those things where it's like, man, I've seen these go up for sale on like 12 different sites in between now and then. Like at some point, I'm just gonna ask for my money back and buy them from somebody else.
Well, I mean, you have the same problem with Hoplite. Like I've seen that a number of times from like guys who've bought from Hoplite, where they need to like be like, I'm gonna charge back if you don't send me this shit now, and then magically there's a shipping label created.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered
Well,
I
it's-
can't buy any here unless I'm law enforcement or military. So
It is Canada.
you know,
You
Didn't they
can't
just-
legally buy any.
legally buy. Yes,
Didn't
you're
they
right.
just ban AR-15.com or something like that?
They banned Black Rifle Coffee, AR-15.com, fucking Stinger portable surface-to-air missile launchers. Like I can no longer defend my home.
You can no longer
against
defend your home
anymore.
against
what do you
against a tank
mean
with
I
a
can't-
javelin?
If
What do
a
you mean I
goddamn
can't have a
monster
500
shows
mile
up,
radius
I
from the
can't
coastline?
fucking blow it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Prime Minister Blackface
Fuck.
to the rescue.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got it done. He's got it. We're living in fucking 30-20 over here. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you gonna live
There's so much shit
without
that
your
was so
medicinal
readily
FGM
available.
148 javelin?
Yeah. Like, it's some of the stuff that was on the list. Like again, a lot of it, most of it is stupid because it is all like almost anything with AR in the name. Whether it's websites, some airsoft guns, even though not anything that is an AR pattern airsoft gun is banned. Again, Black Rifle Coffee because Black Rifle sounds scary. But then, like, again, oddball shit, like fully automatic, like light and medium machine guns. They've never been legal in Canada. And then, yeah, like rocket-propelled grenades, surface-to-air missile launchers. You know, there's a lot of shit. Are you all right?
They wanted to
buddy?
cover their bases. They didn't
I
want to be
guess.
Small yield thermonuclear devices.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's probably on the list too. It's like, where the fuck was anybody getting those from to begin with? Like,
Where am I getting a
I-
special atomic demolition munition? Like
yeah,
those aren't even
How
created
hilarious
anymore.
would it have
I
been
don't know.
though, if AR-15s were banned, but then they fucked up and didn't write it right? And like, well, shit, RPGs are illegal now, and they're importing those.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
show up with a list. You're like, I see nothing on here about depleted uranium rounds.
Exactly.
Gimme.
well, and that's probably what it is. Is some dingbat played Call of Duty and was like, well, nope, I remember that this is in that game. That's not on the list. That kills people. Fucking put that there.
Yeah.
And they're just playing video games and finding stupid oddball shit you use in like fucking Grand Theft Auto and
To
making
be
it illegal.
fair, while they have got some shitty gun laws, the rest of Canada is pretty fucking dope. Let's be honest.
No, see, I'm like, I shit you not, because I've had this conversation with Eric and a couple of the West New York guys. Up until this law, Canada actually had like much better gun laws than New York.
Oh yeah.
Like New York State,
There's
New York
no
State's an
SBR
exception,
laws.
but there's no SBR laws. there's a little bit more work to get handguns, but it's still doable.
Yeah.
But it's like, beyond a weekend of training, like you could, my stepbrother has just about everything you could want to fucking own. But now all of a sudden you can't own fuck all.
Well, in New York, we've actually got some. You can own sort of an SBR. You just it's kind of weird. You can have it's called an other. Essentially, it's got to have an overall length of above 26 inches. It's got to have a pistol brace. It's got to have a vertical foregrip, and then it's got to have. I forget what the fucking third thing is, but it's like, so it's not a pistol, it's not a rifle, it's not an AOW, it's considered an other, and for some reason that's legal. And it's
so if your gun's having an identity crisis, it's good to go.
Exactly, yeah. For all intents and purposes, you've got what is essentially like a Mark 18 or however the fuck you want to set it up. And because of the way the SAFE Act is worded, it's technically legal.
Yeah.
It's really funny listening to people in countries and states that have any kind of gun laws, because Texas is just like, what the fuck you want? All right, screw it. I think I got one in the back. Get over here. How many rounds you want with that?
Can I buy this? You got money? You got a driver's license? Sure, fuck it. You can buy whatever you want.
New Hampshire's pretty similar. The few times I've been there, it's like, want a PKM? Here you go.
Oh, bro, you literally walk into. I remember one time I was going to a gun store and there was a tank out front and it had a for sale sign on it.
Oh.
And it was just like, I walked in there. I was like, "Is that tank seriously for sale?" He's like, "Yeah, I might have some shells for it too. You gotta have a permit." But I was like, "Jesus fucking Christ! All right, man, let's do this shit."
Fucking permit.
Like, there's a dude near my dad's place that has the what's the British like little light assault tank, the mongoose or the otter or
the weasel.
Weasel.
Yeah. He rolls around that motherfucker all the time, man. Just like hatch up, sitting there with the goggles on, just
living the dream.
Yeah, and it functions too, man. 4th of July, he pops off with that motherfucker.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Rad.
Yeah, that's definitely not a thing up here. You cannot own a piece of, even if it was like mostly deactivated, all you could do is drive it. You could not own a piece of military hardware up here.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I've never felt the need to own one, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to own one.
It's the principle.
I think there was a functioning F-16 for sale at one point too.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff you can buy. You can get a MiG-21. Actually, let's Google that right now. MiG-21 for sale.
I saw an F4 Phantom pop up this week as well.
Jesus Christ.
Well, because it'll never get off the runway.
Exactly.
Fucking Phantoms.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen that meme where it's like the dude in Libya who created a MiG-23 from 3 different airframes?
Yes.
Like the bravest man who's ever lived.
Like the shittiest TIG welding job you've ever seen to hold that thing together.
That guy's doing Mach 2 in something that isn't rated to get off the runway.
Is duct tape Mach rated? We're gonna figure out.
I mean, I can buy a Decoration S125, which is an SA-3 Goa missile right now for 3,300 euros and have it shipped to the U. Fuck yeah, I want that.
That sounds like a bargain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get on that shit.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of mortarinvestments.com, but like for a while, this is where I was very much considering like spending my deployment money on like a tank or a BRDM or like a BTR, because you can get them for like.
With the way 2020's going, I think a BTR sounds pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna need something for the zombies here shortly.
We were talking about it last week.
In the back there.
We were talking about it last week where like Japan just finished their Gundam, and I'm like, dude, with the way 2020 is going, they need that shit to fight Godzilla.
Yeah.
They immediately made him flip everybody off too.
There you go.
Oh shit, it's US Airsoft with a $10 super chat. Thanks, bud. These MiG bodies to build Shelby Cobra replicas for $40K. Are you serious?
God damn.
Apparently.
That's mind blowing. Thanks for
I heard that Shelby
thanks for the
was
money,
making,
dude.
Yeah, I heard that Shelby was making old model like 60s GTs and then putting like modern shit inside.
Well, like GT40s, like resto modding.
No. Sorry, like GT 500s. Like I mean the GT.
Yeah.
The Ford GT and stuff that's been different, but like the Mustang, like Shelby's been building Mustangs.
Oh, they're insanely expensive though. Like there's was it a Grand Tour? They were talking about that Lancia Stratus. Like they took a Ferrari.
Yeah.
God damn, dude! If I had one car in the world, it'd be a Stratus. That thing is just.
It's beautiful.
Damn it. I want it so bad.
I grew up in a family that like has always had interesting cars, and one of my uncles had an E-Type Jag. So the Eagle Speedster, which is essentially just a resto mod version of the E-Type Jag, which is like $500,000, like that gets the motion working in my pants, dude. I fucking love that.
Also, hold the fuck up. People can donate money on your show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Dude, I've had YouTube and Twitch because I dual stream. We've had a couple $100 come in through this from revenue.
We gotta start throwing shit up on. We gotta start fucking linking the
You
Twitch.
you just offer goals. We got one set up. Eventually, Ian's gonna take his shirt off on stream. It's gonna be great.
It's just like you'll know it happens. Just keep donating until it happens.
Derrick, we gotta rethink our entire strategy here. They're actually making
we're doing it
You
wrong.
you need a liquor sponsor. Every month, Eric buys me a nice bottle of liquor because of the additional ad revenue from the podcast. Like, I got some glorious, coffee grain Japanese whiskey last month. It was mwah.
Oh, so I'll since you're a whiskey bourbon guy, you need to check out Wood Hat Distillery out of New Florence, Missouri.
Okay.
It's actually my wife's family. Her great uncle runs the place, and they have a bourbon called Bloody Butcher Red, which is a red corn bourbon that won best in the all whiskey category.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like a couple years in a row.
You don't really see bourbon doing that though. That's crazy.
No, dude, it's so. Oh my god, it's good though. It's dangerous. It's dangerous as shit. You gotta put it in small bottles.
Exactly. That's why. That's why I kind of like George Stagg, because it's expensive liquor, but it's it's got some kerosene fucking burn to it, so you're drinking it.
I drink
this
it
is all
fast.
you need right here. This is 40 Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
Barrel Select. Canadian whiskey.
I think Bullet Bourbon and Monkey Shoulder Scotch have been my go-to.
Monkey
for a
Shoulder
while
and Bullet
now.
are fucking pretty good. I do like Monkey Shoulder.
People at Copperhead, because I always carry this flask on me during the games and shit. And
dude, you
somebody
fit
shot
right
me
in with our group, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, dude, for the longest time, and Derrick can attest this, nobody knew who the fuck I was. They just knew I was dude with flask. And so I got shot, and it's always something different. And the kid came over at Copperhead, and he took a swig, and he's like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "Triple malt Scotch. It's good, warm too." He was like,
Yeah.
Loosens you up. You don't overheat when you got Scotch in your system.
No, you don't. It just makes you nice and warm and happy.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it.
That's how we run, especially at MSW. Actually, we went to a. I'm not gonna name the event host because this could look bad, but it clearly says in the rules you cannot drink at this event. And then he shows up to our camp and he goes, "Hey guys, having a good time here? Want a drink?" And it's just some fucking cherry rum. And I'm like, "God damn, I love you guys."
I got spoiled with that too. It was a cherry brandy.
Is that an AMS flask?
No, it's just stickers. So I bought this flask and just fucking tighten it and put it upside down. It looks like a mag, but I love this thing. Gotta have it. Gotta have a game flask.
Oh yeah.
You don't have a game flask.
Even if it's filled with 5-hour energy or something, you just
that's our plan for staying up on watch. That was separate flask with 37 consecutive hours worth of energy inside it.
I did that at Milton West, and it was a fucking godsend.
But we have kind of special events we do called hee-haws. I don't remember where the name comes from, but it's essentially just you get to the field, you start cracking White Claw the second that you show up, and just fuck around with the retard gang of just drinking.
The name of that event came from the glorious John Poland.
Beautiful man.
Yeah, he is a wonderful human being.
But Derrick introduced me to the wonders that is Natter Days. I never had one before. And he bust them shits out at Copperhead, and I was like, "What is this glorious nectar of the gods?"
Well, today is Natter Day, son.
Well, because you drink 40 of the fucking things and you don't get drunk. It's great.
Exactly. You stay hydrated.
I know. It's so
basically
good.
Water.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing with the hee-haws. You hee the haws and then you yeet the claws and then you're good for the entire weekend. It's a good time.
The point is to be in as shitty fighting condition as humanly possible.
Oh, absolutely. You're not supposed to do good at these games.
A defeatist attitude is required.
If you ever see a picture of me in game play, chances are I'm laying down, not because it's an advantageous position, but because I'm too hungover to stand. There's so many times where they're busting into a building or something, and I'm just laying in the middle of the floor fuck it, they won't expect me to be here. I'm gonna get out first and lay here.
I added you on Facebook, and I saw one of the pictures of you was behind. I don't know who this gentleman is, but he's a stout-looking gentleman, and you've got the most glorious handlebar-looking mustache I have ever seen.
That's Corey. That's Corey Haynes. That was at Copperhead this last year. That's nice. Corey from Guardian Tees, one of the other guys on the show. The one we lovingly call Captain America because he is just a tall, pretty blonde dude that's good at everything he tries. It's really upsetting.
I got you. But that mustache it's like the I don't know if you follow football at all, but that's a Gardner Minshew mustache right there.
The stash comes out every event now, so I grow the beard, and then when it comes event time, depending on what I'm going to, I shave everything off, and I always leave this little bit because I can't have it at home because my wife will set me on fire in my sleep just to get that mustache.
As a 22-year-old man-child, I can't grow said facial hair, so I live vicariously
You'll
through my
get it
friends.
eventually, Ian. It'll show up eventually.
I'm really mad that Copperhead got pushed and I can't go now because at one point I was gonna grow the quarantine do was good. It was like down to my shoulders, and I was gonna have the mustache and the long ass slick back hair and the fucking like I was really hyped up for it, and then
Rocking
everything
the
got
mullet,
shot to
the
shit.
follicle
Were you
fountain,
also
I
still
got you.
gonna have the Natter Day armor that you were working on?
Yeah. So, so there's God, I've had a couple of dumb ideas in airsoft. I had one of my favorites that I was gonna do is I had a multicam mariachi outfit,
Oh, baby.
and it got made, and then unfortunately that company didn't ever send it to me, and I was just out like $400.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
I had a combat lumberjack setup made. Was a I think it's like a Cry G3 style flannel top. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen those before, but like I had the original one. I had the idea for that, and then I also had combat jeans made. It was Cry G3 cut denim jeans. So
this
This
is
is looking
it
like
was
the
so
brawny
good.
guy from the
That's
paper
hot.
towels.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
this was the whole like big sombrero and like the dudded out vest
Did it
and
have
everything.
like the
and
beads hanging down and
yeah,
shit?
yeah, it was
I'm
all gonna
jelly.
be multicam,
Wow.
and it had like, oh man, I was heartbroken when it never happened.
Is that
And then-
company still around, or did they just
No,
say, "Nah,
they
this
just,
is
they
ours"?
just, it was just a local like store around here, and I showed up one day to get it, and it was just gone. I was like, oh,
Oh shit!
Shit.
fuck me, okay. And then yeah, I talked to Derrick about taking the boxes from Natter Days and making like samurai armor out of it for a event that Overwatch Tactic does called Conquest of Avalon, which is at a Renaissance fair here in North Texas in Waxahachie. They're doing it
That's
November
fucking awesome.
13th and the 14th of November 13th and 14th. And so Punk is going to be at this one, and we had this great idea that we talked about on our show last week,
Okay.
and he's got that one wheel, right?
Mhm.
And we just lost Derrick.
Oh yeah. There's
He's
lots
got
of video.
But he's got that one wheel that he's been fucking around with, right? And we had the great idea to have him, because it's supposed to be like a Renaissance fair, so it's supposed to be like a time period, so people, try to make their kit appropriately. You got guys out there like chainmail and shit.
Oh,
But
gosh.
he was going to be the Pope at one point, but now we've decided we're going to put him. Because I can't go, unfortunately. He's going to be in red robes on that one wheel with a big ass cardinal hat, and he's going to be the Spanish Inquisition. And he's just
Oh,
going to
man.
roll around the map, throwing EG67s at kids, going, "Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition."
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
God.
fantastic.
You gotta love like fun dumbass kits. Like when we did our Avalon's always one of my favorite events because I always do something ridiculous for it, and it's always just a good fucking time.
Yeah.
Renaissance Fair is a fun place to play at. I really it's neat. But I'm really mad. I can't wait to see the footage from that because we did I don't know if you guys ever saw the video of us jousting at the one last year.
No.
No, I haven't seen it.
So we showed up at like 7 to get set up for the booth on Friday. Started drinking about 7:30. 2 o'clock rolls around, and Soto had the bright idea to unload the golf carts right in front of us.
Oh no.
Took us about 5 seconds to hijack those, get these these fucking Nerf bow and arrows, and stick a guy in the back and a guy driving, and we were jousting each other, like
Oh my god.
driving at each other. Pew! And you hear the whiz going past. We got it all on video, and it's probably the most fun I've ever had in an airsoft event. It had nothing to do with airsoft.
And nothing to do with airsoft.
Exactly. No, I mean,
It's
honest to God, the most fun that I've had at airsoft events are usually the times in between when actual airsoft is happening. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Had
yeah.
a couple, so the burps are coming. But yeah, dude, oh man, I have had
like watch your buddies do some cool shit too.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a piece of lore in a series of events that we go to called Omega Productions. It's like post-apocalyptic LARP style events where myself and Eric, he's the main guy on the channel. We both committed suicide in each other's arms at the end of one of these events because we had these weird nihilist characters, and for somehow that has woven itself into the lore of these events. So every so often I'll just be kind of chilling out, and they're like, "Hey, do you remember when that guy killed himself because the other guy died?" Just like, yeah, it was pretty neat.
But sad. So depressing.
It's always good too. Like some of my favorite times at events have been running with Matt Washington or Samurai Matt. I don't know if you ever met the guy, and just like because he has the innate ability to, when everyone else is dead, just to pop the fuck off and start wiping out like whole teams of people. Like,
Oh, shit.
He's got that clutch factor, like fucking Robert
Dude,
Horry
yeah.
in the NBA Finals. Yeah,
it's vicious. It's so much fun to watch. But yeah, that's always the best part, is just like hanging out, bullshitting, watching other people do cool shit. Like I have a kind of insane collection of like gats and equipment at this point, and I think I use like 2 of them.
Yeah, we've got one dude in our group who's just this uber Chad named Garrett, and he's got like a 215-yard kill with a tag and shell, and like being like present for that kill was just like, dude, there's no way your dick is any shorter than 14 inches long with that kill that you just.
He also has the prestigious honor of hitting Jet in the head with a tag round.
Oh, he fucking domed Jet with it.
Did it go off?
Yeah,
I think it was a chalk round.
Yeah, it's in video. Oof. It's in one of Jet's videos.
Yeah.
Derrick facilitated one of the coolest shots I've ever seen in a game, which once again was at Copperhead, but it was Zane Weissman hopping on one leg, fucking gun up, and just tracing motherfuckers. That's because Derrick was driving him around the mat, around the game, just like letting him fuck people up.
Wow.
It was his first game since losing his foot in a motorcycle accident. And like, hey man, because I had a different razor, but I saw him like hobbling around, like, dude, get the fuck in. You're not jumping around this huge facility. So we were just doing drive-bys on.
You're gonna hop in a chair or something like that, motorized chair.
Yeah, to run around the chair.
But we also found out that a lot of people won't shoot you in a vehicle if you just don't act aggressive, even when you're clearly on the opposite team.
Oh yeah.
So we just drove by their fob while we're alive, and we're just waving, and they wave back, and then and so we do that. We go way around and come back, and then just shoot them in the back. Like, I thought you were dead. Like, never dead.
You get it.
But then on the final day, there's this gunfight going on, and we had pulled up and stopped for. And he just like hands me a box of grenades he'd been chucking. He's like, hold this. And then he gets out, and then on one foot he jumps around a corner and like wipes the squad. It was fantastic.
That is Chad level maneuver. Oh my god.
Yeah. Dude, Zane's a bad motherfucker, man. He's a super cool guy. But you got to make your own fun at these events. Like Derrick had the bright idea to bring a bullhorn to a couple of them and let me get a little liquored up and get my hands on it.
Oh.
It's the psychological warfare.
Dude, that's why I'm starting to try and integrate more and more technology into like my airsoft times. Like we were talking beforehand about ATAC and how it's just like this massive revolution of retarded shit that you can do with airsoft. Oh, we just lost Derrick. But anyway, it's this super sweet Android app that myself and a couple of the other guys have been using, and it's the shit that you can do with it is fucking hilarious. The amount of like random attacks and just coordination that I can facilitate through a Android app and a data connection to a server that I have set up is fucking awesome, dude. I'm super excited to run this at an MSW event and fuck on some Russians or fuck on some NATO or whoever we're facing.
So what does the app do exactly? I've never heard of it.
ATAC is it's a situational awareness app and a Blue Force tracking app that essentially has a lot of different plugins that you can run in it. You can control UAVs through it. You can feed information from TAC through night vision. Imagine like the map
like
features of Ghost Recon. It's like Ghost Recon Future Soldier type shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking dope. I'm gonna take a look at that.
Yeah, if you've got an Android phone, grab it. And if Derrick, I don't know if you have a server or not set up, but it's pretty easy to set up. I can shoot you some links after the podcast's over to help you get set up. Yeah. But yeah, it's some cool stuff, man.
You don't want to connect with military servers. That's how you get in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want to connect to those.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if you'd be able to connect to those because a lot of those are on Sipper, so like the secret side of stuff. But like, there's some groups of people who have sort of reverse engineered the servers, been able to create their own things on the open source side of things. So you'd be able to host your own server. Yeah.
That's fucking dope. I love all the really neat innovations that come out of shit like that.
Oh yeah, it's like Blue Fox Tracker on steroids. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's how I was going to describe it.
Played with the Blue Fox Tracker at a game?
I have. Yeah.
I haven't had the opportunity to go to a DFE event yet. We were supposed to go to one, and then that ended up getting canceled, and we were supposed to go to Alphonse's place instead and just get hammered, and then that got canceled because of the Rona. So it was a very lonely July for Ian, but. Otherwise, I mean, I got to fuck around with ATAC and set up my own server, and it's been pretty good otherwise.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Because I know we were trying to. So KWA's got a thing going on right now because they're one of the sponsors for the show.
Okay.
But they've got this new Fight Night series coming out, which are these 1v1 competitions, and we're trying to because I'm going to be one of the commentators for it, and Caber, and then you got SYG Sapo. And we're trying to think of a cool idea to like put a mini map on the screen so you can get a little bit more reference for these fights.
Yeah.
And something like that might be kind of perfect for it. So I'm going to take a look at it and see if we can figure out a way to integrate that. Just because it's so hard when you've got, because you got overhead views and you've got like the body cam views, but it's really hard to get a reference for like what the fuck's going on when you can't see, like, just have a red dot, blue dot going through the map.
Oh yeah, if you can have like a mini map in the bottom right, and then like get like a, because it'll integrate with UAVs, and then like it'll have a HUD over the UAV, so it'll be like a diamond on the objective you're supposed to go to, and dots on the individual people moving to contact or whatever.
Oh, it's augmented reality too, right?
Oh yeah, it is augmented reality. So like, for example, if you can have, like Derrick, you could have it set up inside your Polaris, like on a tablet or something, and it would augmented reality show you the route over the actual like image that your camera's taking currently, and it'd show you all like the objectives on the way. Yeah. Dude, being military and having access to this shit is fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's basically turning real life into a video game.
It's got and if you're in the military, if you're on the military side of things, you get like fire tools as well. So like you can send fire missions to your boys, like 400 yards back, who got their hands on the tag-in mortar to start dropping fucking warheads on foreheads on people. It's cool stuff.
Holy shit!
If you had a whole group of guys that had that and know how to use it, I think that would definitely be a game changer.
That's what we've been doing as part of the group.
So many ops comms just go out the window so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that like radios, they all work great in the parking lot. The moment you step out of the parking lot, just that everything breaks.
I've got a pretty solid dual com setup right now with I've got like a pair of contacts, and then like the TCA Prick 152s. They've got some like some half decent antennas and actual transmitters on them. And it's like $250 a radio, but they're pretty solid radios, and they fit perfectly inside the the Cry emitter pouches. So that's what I've been using.
Yeah.
It's honest to God, like I've pretty much just built my entire loadout around the fact that I'm gonna have to be a fucking radio man for this impression group. So, communication has never been an issue of mine. So as long as you can get
important. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, especially for like larger events. Yeah.
Yeah.
My comms never work. I just always end up yelling at people.
Or just using like bow fangs or what?
Yeah, it's always like halfway the game. It's like, "What's your name?" Fucking.
It's just yell and challenge at pass at people, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
My shit never works. It's so terrible. And it's always my fault. Like I either haven't tuned it right, or I'm not doing something I'm supposed to be doing.
I thought you were supposed to be the comm guy in the Navy.
No, I was a cryptologist. I was a missile defense. I didn't do jack shit with comms.
No, he kicks his feet up, looks at a computer, and then it decodes them for him.
Yeah, every 5 seconds I'd wake up and the fucking TAO would be like, "Oh, it's a missile." I'm like, "No, it's a fucking comm nav. It's the same goddamn Chinese freighter. It's been 200 miles that way for like a week now. Please, for the love of God, quit screaming that it's a missile. If I hear volcano one more fucking time, I'm gonna come in there and slap you."
Oh, dude, I'd have the same thing happen. I was in Afghanistan. We were in the talk, and like the CRAM guys, you know what a CWIZ is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the land-based version of that called the CRAM. You know, the R2-D2 that shoots fucking mortars and shit out of the sky. Like the guys over there be like, "Oh God, it's a missile." It's like, no, it's not a missile. It's a fucking firework. We're in the middle of Eid al-Fitr. The fucking Afghans are celebrating something.
Arm the fart cannon! Like, no, for the love of God. My favorite was we had because I was on the Eisenhower, which is the carrier, and when we were over the Middle East, they had these planes that Iran would use we called them turbo pandas, but it was like a shitty little prop plane with some asshole hanging out the side with a fucking Kodak camera, like taking pictures of us.
Yes, the highest of technology ISO.
Oh yeah. And one time the TAO was like, "Can you jam that?" I was like, "It's 700,000+ kilowatts. I can melt that motherfucker in his seat." And he looked at me for a minute, and I was like, "It's like no." I was like, "Jamming's an act of war, and I'm pretty sure frying a dude and his plane is probably not."
I'll fucking do it again.
Come on, motherfucker, let me do it.
The Geneva Convention never specifically mentioned microwaving people.
Yeah. Electronic warfare, man. They call it soft kill, but it's more like squishy kill.
It's more like your internal organs are now non-functional.
Yeah. Liquefaction.
Oh yeah. Man, it's just, oh God, I love the ridiculous technology we have our hands on nowadays.
It's so dumb. Like if you want to get your mind blown, just look up the space plane.
If you want to have your fucking mind blown, look up a wide area persistent surveillance. It's nicknamed Gorgon Stare. Take a look for it.
It's it's so much fun when you get access to SipperNet and you're bored on deployment and you're like, what can I look up today?
You think SipperNet's cool? Look up JWix. That's the top secret side of things. You get some fucking cool. You got some, there's so much stuff that I'll be like, oh, guess what? Guess what? Oh fuck, it's TS. Shit.
In order to get that, because I had a TSSCI. In order to get the,
same boat.
you can't get the J shit. You can't get that on the carrier just because you have to upload crypto to fucking get access to it.
Yeah.
And they get a little fucky about letting you. I'd walk into SES every once in a while and be like, hey, can I look at this real quick? Like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, are aliens real? Man, get out.
Have you guys ever played War Thunder?
I just built a gaming PC.
Okay.
And I'm just now like getting into the realm of downloading like real games. I've been playing like World of Warships a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing Warzone all the time. But I'm
there's
Well,
certain
War
stuff
Thunder.
in like World of War, like War Thunder, or like DCS,
Yeah.
or like flight sims, where it's just like technically this technology we don't really know what it is, but like we're gonna based off of our current knowledge, and I'll just be like on JWix, just like looking up like the specifications of the systems. Like, you guys got this shit all wrong. You have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Speaking of large, was it Stop Front and Liar? Tell Coldbrick Brothers Spice loves him. I know exactly who that is. How you doing, baby?
Oh.
Big pretty man.
Oh man, you guys got some fans in the chat right now.
We fucking they'd come through occasionally, man.
I hate that. I hate the F word. I just like hate people calling fans. Like, no, it's audience. You're not a fan of me. If you met me in person, you wouldn't be a fan of me.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a buddy. But what my favorite is like on the odd occasion where I'm like out of the local field or somebody and somebody like recognizes one of us from the show and it's like, oh fuck.
I got
No,
recognized
like
in
this.
a fucking supermarket one time. They're like, "Are you that guy from the GunGamers channel?" I'm like, it's like this 13-year-old
go
with his
away.
mom, and it's just like, "Yeah, man, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, great. I loved your review on this." I'm like, "Fucking right on, man. Thanks. I'm just gonna go.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm gonna
Just
go
you're sitting
check
there
out
with
with
eggs
my
and a
30
six
rack
pack
of."
of fucking beer.
That's the thing. I had like a 30 rack of like fucking like Bud Light or something like that. I was about to bring back to my house. I'm like, I'm not a good influence on children. Shit.
Dressed
Don't be like
exactly as
me.
you are, just like 230 racks of Keystone under your arms, like
Oh,
Cool
God,
kid,
Keystone.
That's funny.
stay in school.
Dude, I've
Yeah.
got since we got that liquor sponsor, I've started to have standards when it comes to alcohol, and it's made me a pretentious.
Oh, you're
cock.
turning into fucking Eric.
You
Oh
bougie
my God.
bitch.
Dude, that's the problem, because like Eric spends his money on like vinyl records, liquor, and expensive cigars, and it's like, dude, pick less hipster hobbies to have. Fuck, now you're making me feel bad.
Cigars I can get behind, but I'll drink just about anything you put in front of me. I don't
Yeah, I'm
like
kind of in the
Yeah, I
same.
don't really care.
I'm in the same boat, but I can appreciate a nice liquor, you know.
Yeah. There's definitely a hierarchy to it, and you can tell too. Like there's every once in a while somebody will hand me a flask of something, I'll take a sip, but like, ooh,
Yeah.
what is this? What are you? Come here.
Who are you? What do you know? There was a. That's actually one of the cool things, because we had. Oh, go ahead. Derrick, you had something to say?
I just said, did we just become best friends?
Exactly. No, we had a we went to an event in Ohio back in so it was like late June, early July, and we had an audience member, like somebody who was a fan of our, who was part of our audience, who like
Somebody who
came up-
tolerates us.
somebody who tolerates our terrible
Yeah,
fucking YouTube
yeah.
channel, who like walked up to us. He's like, "Hey man, I got some stuff for you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he hands me a fucking bag of like cigars and like a bottle of like local bourbon. I'm like, "God damn it, I fucking love our audience, man.
Dude,
This is
we-
great."
We've got a guy who at every event that he's at and he sees us, he brings us a new bottle of something.
Nice.
When they came and saw us at Avalon, it was him and then these other guys. They brought us a 1,000,000+ Scoville hot sauce because we just decided for shits and gigs we'd tell people to bring that, because we were recording an episode while we were there and it was a lot of fun. We were talking with people, bullshitting, doing stuff, and they brought us a bottle of the Black Label Jameson
Oh,
and then
shit,
that hot
okay.
sauce, and we proceeded to go. I think they had to like pile me into my truck when we were leaving. Darren from EG ended up driving my truck back to the hotel. They thought I was dead. I was just like asleep in the back seat.
Shit.
It was a good ass time, and it's really cool when you get like really neat people like in your little community that you create, like like-minded dipshits. And like now at every single event, like when I saw him at Reindeer Games, he had a bottle of a blended cognac that he brought me that was fucking fantastic. Just excellent taste. Excellent taste.
It's really helpful when you have audience members who've got similar taste in terms of alcoholism to you, dude. It's the best.
And if they can give you the liquor without it turning into some sort of like awkward fan
Oh, yeah.
interaction, that's all the better.
Well, that's the coolest thing is he just like walks up. He's like, "Here, guys, told you I'd bring you one." And he just like walks off. Like, dude, come hang out for a bit. Fuck, like I actually want to bullshit with you. Like, what are you doing?
That's
And then
I think that's the best thing about our like audience is like for the most part like they're above the age of like 18, so it's not awkward fan interactions where they're oh my god, that's
sign my helmet, sign my gun, sign whatever the fuck it is.
Although we have had a couple interactions which were clearly like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like we're just normal people. Stop treating me like fucking god. Good lord.
Well, it always makes me laugh because Eric gets so fucking awkward, and it's so great. People get like really, really fangirly over him because he just doesn't know what to fucking do about it.
Well, yeah. That's where it's being nice, being in the median of like some people kind of know who the fuck you are, but most people don't. Because then you got like I've known Robo Murray for fucking years now at this point. And we'll be at events, kids will just walk up and just like foam at the mouth and faint in front of him. You're like, God damn, like what the fuck was that? Or like Derrick will have his fucking like gear whore kids that'll come and be like, please just hold my CAG kit. He just blessed. And just keeps on moving.
It's one thing I do like with like the GunGamers Discord, for example, right? Like a lot of the quote unquote fans are able to just socialize with everybody. So now if you go to events and there's fans that attend, you already have established like an established kind of connection with them. So it's just like, oh, hey, bro, like they go from being a fan to just being one of the guys or whatever. Yeah, so it's way less awkward. GunGamers Discord, like Kev says, is incredibly toxic, right? So,
that's all this.
We get to share our toxicity with each other.
I know how fucking Mike Jones from Grantham feels about his goddamn comment, like his comment section, because like holy shit, our Discord it's a pile of garbage. It's awful.
It's also weird running into other like content creators, but some of them are
airsoft content creators.
Yeah, well, like some of them are just dickheads, man. Like I've run into a few where it's like, man, you suck. I don't want to have anything. Or like they want something from you.
Low, but God, you surpassed them.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of instances where like we've been at events with content creators, and like I'm not gonna say anything like who it is, but like it's clearly like just dude, you're here for the clout. You're not here for airsoft. You're here because you bought 30,000 followers on Instagram. And you want to like rep your brand or rep your sponsors. You're not here to play airsoft. It's like I'm here to have fun, man. I don't give a fuck who sponsors me. I don't give a fuck whatever. Like obviously I'm thankful for the people who sponsor me and give me free shit. But otherwise, I'm here for the homies.
Well, like we would have given up on the podcast a long time ago if it wasn't just fun. Like none of us got into it. Like Derrick's already got his following with MoeGuns. Corey's got his t-shirt company and he's a cop and he's got a million other things. Now he's doing short films. Carl's got BB Dynamics. Punk just does whatever the fuck Punk does and makes money at it. Like he just actually I think he just launched his Slaughter brand website today. I got followed on Instagram by Slaughter Co. So that's dope. So yeah, he's launching a whole fucking clothing company.
Nice.
So I mean,
yeah.
I've kind of dabbled in the whole like veteran clothing shit, just trying not to be fucking grunt style or 9-line, just making the most shit possible. Like I try to make my stuff kind of cool looking, as opposed to like, oh, I was at brother house in the military, and brother, tell it brother. It's like
always beware anyone who calls you brother the first time they meet you. Like that's almost always a dead giveaway when someone goes, "What's up, brother? It's nice to meet you." I'm like, I'm not gonna like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
All of my stuff is just based off of either memes or kind of like inside jokes. Like 10th Mountain Division fucking made a meme of their patch. It's literally just about drinking. Like it says alcoholic on the tab. And it's a fucking beer bottle and a bottle opener and the full color version of 10th Mountain. Yeah, dude.
My favorite patch of all time is floating around here somewhere, and it's from a small company called Two Brothers Tactical.
Okay.
And they make like niche like I don't even know if they're still in business, but it's this patch that I always wear where it's American flag in the background and it's a guy doing a one-arm keg stand with quad nods and a plate carrier on, and it's called the Kegerator. And
that's great.
I've never seen anyone else have one, and I fucking love it. They did it for like a charity thing, and kids are always like, "Where'd you get that patch? I want to get that patch." And I'm like, "No,
you can't."
I'm not telling you
for your liking. No, I've always been a huge fan of like the patch panel, like Warhammer drops, like their most recent Purity Seal drop. I ended up getting it on because I missed the last year's. But they make some awesome stuff.
Warhammer's neat, man. There's like Warhammer and SCP because of the film, SCP because of the short film that Corey did, and then Warhammer because
he was in that with like Drewski and all them, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I went down like a rabbit hole in that shit recently because that was really cool. And then the Warhammer stuff. Like I've got, fuck, what was I listened to one of the books on audiobook the other day. Just kind of when I was driving to and from work. Black Templars. Fuck, what is that book? Something about a planet called Armageddon. I don't really remember. I don't remember.
There's so much. It was like 40K with like the Space Marines and shit. Yeah, there's so much content in that. It's always hilarious.
So much. I had never messed with 40K before, but I had some friends that are into it, and I'm like, it sounds cool. It looks cool from the some stuff, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch a YouTube video and get just like a rough precursor on the lore of it. And the first one that pops up is like 4 hours long of the total history and lore of it. And I'm like, oh my god.
Dude, I felt
the
same way.
It is a deep, deep pool to jump into.
I felt the same way when I ended up getting into the when I got onto like World of Warcraft, because like I'm a Warcraft nerd. I didn't really grow up with like the RTS
fucking
games.
Nerds.
But like the lore of World of Warcraft, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go cosplay as this specific guy, and I'm like, god damn it, I'm a fucking nerd. I love this.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the best though. Like when you get into it, like that's all the fun, and that's all fucking airsoft is at the end of the day. Is you're just like
you're cosplaying and LARPing at the same time.
It's the same shit. It's LARPing. Yeah.
And that's
instead of going lightning bolt, you're throwing a fucking EG-67. Like
exactly.
And
that's why the people who like
you can scream lightning bolt when you throw one if you really want to.
I normally yell Kobe, but to each their own. But to like the individual person, like anybody, like you were saying earlier, just like anybody who puts on a plate carrier immediately thinks they're a god on the battlefield. It's like you're dressing up, you're LARPing, and you're shooting other people with plastic pellets. Like there's nothing special about what we're doing. Everybody who's outside looking in thinks we're all nerds, so it's no big thing, Stop acting.
Could you imagine what goes through people's brains when they like drive by an airsoft field or something and just see a bunch of fucking 14-year-old kids with assault rifles just shooting and screaming at each other? Like,
I don't think the 14-year-olds with the assault rifles get judged nearly as hard as the grown-ass men in kids with the toy assault rifles.
Yeah, that's even worse. It's pretty depressing.
Yeah, I can't ever explain it to people whenever I'm like out and about. Like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, well, I do this, and I'm playing. Like, they'll look on my Instagram. They're like, what the fuck is all this? I'm like, oh yeah.
I told a friend of mine that I did a podcast, and that was the biggest mistake that I've ever made. It's like, oh, what's the podcast on? And I'm like, oh god, you're not part of the community. You wouldn't know.
You're not gonna understand any of this. I don't understand half the fucking references. People will start busting out about this and that and gear and like all this other shit, and I'm like,
Dude, I'm a complete fucking idiot when it comes to airsoft. Like, I have the guns I like and some of the gear I like, but half the stuff you guys have talked about when it comes to kit and like past events, I have no fucking clue.
I'm straight boomer when it comes to that shit. I don't understand.
Like,
I'm just here to have fun, man. Like, I'll have people coming up to me and telling me about their Valken JPC. It's just like, cool, man, you have fun with that. And I'm not a fan of Valken products, but you.
Nobody's a fan of Valken products. No, Valken doesn't like their own goddamn products.
I went on a rant on last week.
But yeah, Valken is a company.
Great. Kaiju is awesome. Valken is a company.
Fantastic human being.
Yeah, exactly.
I know enough about airsoft products to know about Valken, so I guess that's something.
You see a lot of that too, though. Like there's opposites to that, where like the company makes great products, but you fucking hate somebody that works there is like higher up. So, like we've got our Elite Force jihad that we just like won't tolerate those motherfuckers or any of their products in the slightest.
I like the guys at Elite Force. They're some nice. There's some nice guys.
So there's one specifically that we have very good reason to want to fucking kick in the balls. But yeah, the rest of them, like most of the guys, like Dave Bax is great. Fucking Niles is fantastic.
Nigel's
their products
hilarious.
Nigel's great. Great dude.
I've never met a grown man who's willing to smoke heaters at a game and swear at children. It just makes me so happy.
Dude, that guy's fucking
It's so wholesome.
He's got such a like awesome like drunk uncle aesthetic going on.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's what I've heard. I've never met him, but
I only met him either. But it's like rumor. It's like whispers in the night of the legend of Nigel.
Yeah, yeah. I hear lots. I hear lots from Chris Hoyt. He is a very big fan of Nigel, so he's got lots of wonderful Nigel stories.
Oh yeah. Speaking of MoeGuns, like you were talking about that earlier, where did MoeGuns come from? What was the inspiration on that? What ended up starting it?
So I just kind of stumbled into it in 2012, late 2012. I was working at UPS store, through Christmas. And like I said, anything with postal related around Christmas is not a good time.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, so I did that. The day after Christmas, I come in, and my boss says, "Oh, good news, you're fired." I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh, okay."
Good news.
Good news,
Congratulations.
everyone.
Good news.
You
Get the
on
fuck out.
joblessness. Oh my fucking god.
Remember how you wanted more free time?
Yeah, I think that's why.
So like, well, shit. And I had just signed up for classes going to college at the time. Like, oh my god. So I was looking for jobs. You know, at the time there's a big gun rush going on, especially here in Colorado. The governor was going to try and ban assault rifles, all that stuff. And I was too young at the time to get an FFL. But I'm like, you know what? I got some shit lying around. I'll just throw that up on eBay, and it sold right away. Anything gun related sold. I sold some guns I had. They sold right away. Like, damn, things crazy right now. I can't legally sell guns as a business right now because I'm not old enough. But I could start a business and sell like accessories, at least until I get a real job. So I started an eBay store, and I was just selling flashlights, and that surprisingly did really well the first year. And then I started moving into some other stuff. I was on eBay for probably about a year or two, and then I got tired of eBay taking 10% of all my sales. Like, screw it, I'm gonna start my own website. I did that, and then I kind of started moving. At that point, the gun rush was done, and I was kind of just dabbling in patches. Like, you know what? I do some doodling on the side. I have some ideas. I'll design a patch, find some place to make it, and throw it up and see what happens. And for some reason, it did really well, and people liked it. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
hot damn, let's try it again. And people liked it. Then I just kind of slowly moved into just doing apparel. And I continued that for a couple years as I was working some side jobs and going through college. Then I decided I really hated college and other jobs, so I quit all that and did MoeGuns full time, and haven't looked back since.
I mean,
It's not like
that's the way
it's
to
not
go,
some
man.
glorious story where I decided like I'm going to be a
Bet it all.
millennial
You against the world.
entrepreneur. It's just like, well, shit, I need to pay for things, and I
I need
decided
that
an
anyhow.
eBay store.
I
Yeah,
really want
becoming
a
an
Baja
adult
Blast
sucks.
colored tiger stripe, goddammit, and nobody else will make it, so I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that the hoodies and the camo stuff has been a lot of fun. It's given me a lot of creative freedom. Just come up with some wild shit.
I'm as far as like the whole creation of that kind of stuff goes. Do you have like your own like presses and stuff like that? Like you make all your own shit?
No, it's all thankfully outsourced. So
Okay.
I'll design it and I'll market it and put it up on the website. But then I have a separate company that will make it and ship it.
Okay, I got you. I'm kind of in the same boat with patches as of right now. Like, I do all my like shirts and shit through Spreadshirt, but like patches, it's just like, hey, I can get 100 of these for like $250 and then sell them for $12 a piece. That's a sick
Yep.
profit margin.
It is a good deal. And the patches are right in that great price margin where it's like an easy impulse buy. You don't gotta think about it. It's like, hey, $12, I can spend $12, throw it on my kit.
Exactly.
Airsofters are great because airsofters have more free Velcro real estate than anyone else.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
there's
Them and like
head,
government
toe, and
contractors.
Velcro. Yeah.
That's why I adore like going on government contracts, because like I'll see people who are, you know, rocking like some random dude who's never seen combat a day in his life, but he's wearing like a 511 Tech with, you know, random patches that he found at the PX just strewn about them. He's like, hey, I got something real cool that you can put on that, $12 and it's yours. It's a fun time to be, you know, I don't want to call it like a gear creator, but like an apparel creator. It's just,
Yeah.
people are willing to buy
It's
that shit out
interesting.
the ass. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a market for it. And the internet is fantastic. It allows anyone to jump into it. I mean, when I started it, I was 19. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just stumbled my way into it. And I tell it whenever I hear someone say, yo, I'm looking about starting a business, I don't know where to start. Like, just go for it. Just do it. You'll make mistakes along the way, but it's really not that complicated. You can figure it out. And even if you want to just do it on the side, you can make a decent amount of money for
Make some good
yourself.
money from it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, people are asking for random Judy Gunny related shit, which is another little
Yeah.
venture that I got going
What's
on.
You got Judy going, yeah?
If there's one thing that I love doing, it's ripping
There
off
you
the
go.
Patagonia logo because it's really easy to do as long as you
It's real easy. You just gotta be careful with that. I've known some people that Patagonia will they not go after you, but you'll
They'll
get
send you a cease
a
and
strongly
desist.
worded email. Yeah, saying knock it off.
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah. I mean, I've done it with a bunch of different brands like PBR and Judy and Patagonia rather, and for the most part they're usually pretty chill about it because it's considered satire. But like there are certain brands that'll be like, all right, get that shit the fuck off the internet.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, did you ever do that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say there was a Ryan Dean from Fatco Customs. He at one point in time was lathing these things he called stabbies, which were the Sharpies that he put titanium spikes inside of. He got a cease and desist on those motherfuckers real quick.
Yeah, I guess he would. Holy fuck.
He sold like 15 of them. I didn't know how Sharpie found the fuck out about it.
Oh.
They found his ass quick. And they're like, don't do that anymore.
Get knocked off.
Here.
No. Well, I'm sure companies with brands like that big, they probably have people whose sole responsibility it is to find shit like that on the internet.
Oh,
like,
A lot of time it's bots just scouring the internet. Like for PBR, like I made the mistake of having something blue ribbon related in the title, and then they're like, nah, get that off the internet. We don't like that. It's like, you guys sell a shitty beer. It's got a great
for
logo
hipsters.
though.
It's fucking hipster beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible beer. Oh my god.
I will drink Keystone over
It-
PBR.
It gets you where you need to go, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to enjoy the ride getting there either.
No.
That's
No.
the shitty part.
It's gross. It's like it's like trying to bulk and only eating like shitty Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like a
Good
96
analogy for
Toyota Camry of fucking beers.
It's a 1987 Toyota Tercel that you're gonna jump
Yeah.
250 feet into a cornfield.
Yeah.
Oh, dude!
It'll
Shout out
get you there.
to Action Figure Therapy. That's that fucking. Oh man, they need to start making more shit.
Yeah.
It's the base of that reference.
I didn't. Yeah, that went right over my head, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
were
just thought it
great
was
back
beautiful.
in the day. Then they got weirdly political when
Yeah,
I
I was gonna
stopped
say,
following them.
it got real political around 2016, and then there was a.
I'm like, man,
enormous
I
like
just
to
want to
dislike
laugh
reaction.
at stuff.
Fuck, everything got political.
Yeah,
around
so that's the
2016.
popular thing to be now. Is just political. Like everybody is. Go ahead.
I like to keep that shit the fuck off the podcast because I'm just
Yeah.
here to talk about airsoft and gear.
Well, listen.
Yep.
Everybody eventually starts sharing opinions, and then a lot of people you discover their opinions are not really like probably opinions that they should voice, and then it's it starts to just. I mean, I just using myself as an example, like it starts to really make you second guess like being around those people or wanting to support those people. It's like, man, even
one
if
of those
other
things.
people agree with you, it's like this kind of sucks now.
Well, it's that, or you get a lot of these people that just like they form an opinion solely because everyone else has that opinion. And you can tell.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's just like beware anyone that calls you brother. Like somebody walks up, what's
Yeah.
going on, brother? I'm like, I don't trust you.
You ain't my brother.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I am locking up all of my shit this evening. I will
Yep.
see you later.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that shit too, because man, fucking the thievery of the entitlement in airsoft is wild too.
Oh yeah.
Like fucking Enola Gay at one of the events, they Darren was leaving and he's like, I can't ship the shit, and they sponsored the show, so they were like, here, and he just gave me like cases of stuff. Kids just started walking up to my pickup truck and reaching into the back of it to get shit, and they got mad at me when I was like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, we just gave it to you. I was like, yeah, he gave it to me. I was like, get your hand out of the back of my truck for I beat your ass. I was like, get over there. None of this shit belongs to you. You don't like. I don't even know who you are. What are you doing reaching the back of my fucking truck? Why are you after my property?
I was at an event recently where I'm not gonna go too far into it, but I was like letting people use my dual tube white phosphor nods, just fucking around with them, looking through them, and it's cool stuff because if you never look through night vision, that's kind of like a mind blowing experience. And then I had somebody ask me like the day afterwards during the night games, like, hey, can I use your stuff? I'm like, no, I paid a lot of money for this.
no.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm going to be using this. I don't have backup nods.
I'll give you a crisp kick in the ass, but no, you're not using my fucking nods. Or like they want to borrow your gun, or they want to like pick up. Like we had one of the dam missions at one of the events. A kid picked up and walked off with Two Tall Tom's like real Glock that he was using for the blank fire.
Shit.
Yeah, for blank fire.
Yeah, for the blank
Wow.
fire. They just like walked off the field with it, and he luckily he caught him at the end of the game. It was just sitting on a table. He's like, you don't just pick up people's shit. He's like, well, we're supposed to secure it. He's like, you fucking like clear it and then set it next to me or something. He's like, but you don't ever just pick up somebody's shit and walk off with it.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
especially like MSW or like it very well could be a real rifle. You don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fucked up. I've gotten lucky. Like I've never had stuff stolen, but I get more and more sketched out. Like I really don't share with people like what I bring to an event. Like you said, I mean, Ian and like occasionally like to flex the fact that we have Murdery recoil shocks, but it's like people all show up at an event. Oh, nice scar. Oh yeah, it's a fucking D-boys. Like just it's a fucking it's nothing special just because bigger events like most of the local stuff or like games with the homies it's whatever, but like bigger events it's like there's going to be a period of time where I'm not around this shit or and it might not necessarily be locked in my vehicle, so I'd rather nobody know what it is.
Oh yeah, I invested in lock because I run Sistemas, so I invested in lock boxes pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
So I was like, if one of these walks up, I'm just gonna start fucking swinging on everybody that gets within 200 feet of me. Like fuck that. But like, luckily, it seems like people stealing shit is a lot less prevalent, at least at big events, than it used to be. Because I remember for a while there, it was like you were getting your shit stolen like all the time.
Well, there was a guy at a local event recently. It was like a Battle of the Depot 2 who ended up getting his PVS-14 stolen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like that kid that walked up, tried to pocket Alphonse's Glock at that local game.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Homie's got like 12 cameras on him, and I'll give him time. There's a small CCTV setup watching you steal this Glock. Like, what were you
out of
thinking?
all of the people that you're gonna steal from? That is the last person that you want to steal from.
Yeah,
not,
really.
Not just the CCTV setup, but there's
He's
also like
big dude,
85,000 people who watch him. Yeah.
And literally his other job basically is lifting fucking weights for a living.
Yeah, just
he will rip you in
enormous,
half.
Yeah.
And
if his simps
half together.
If he doesn't get you, his simps will.
Oh my god, yeah. Well,
he's got to have more simps than any airsoft girl. I swear to God, dude. Fucking kids fangirl over that dude hard.
He was on the podcast like 3 or 4 months ago, and he was telling us about like his time bulking for college football, and like the way he would bulk was just super dirty and would just eat an entire pizza, and then for every single bite he would dip it in fucking ranch. Just just like 6,000 calories worth of pizza and ranch to bulk.
That.
Well, the dude's enormous. Like his diet
is a large guy.
It's no longer about
fucking
enjoying food.
Too, and I couldn't fucking do that. Like fuck me.
Well, his diet isn't about enjoying food anymore. It's just about what can I put in my body to
Results.
make me more swole.
I want to enjoy.
Yeah, it's
enjoy
fuel
Food
at
is
that
just
point.
fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel for gains, pretty much. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a bunch of buddies who are they're either amateur or professional fighters, and I was in that shit for a long time and watching these do like weight cuts, man. Fuck. Like it's crazy because like somebody will watch a UFC fight and they're like, yeah, he weighed at 155. And it's like, yeah, but he was walking around at like 190 like 4 weeks ago. Like it's fucking crazy.
They'll eat exclusively like fucking whipped cream frozen into ice cream just to lose as much weight as possible. It's nuts. I'm trying to lose some weight right now, and I can't even get to that point. It's fucking nuts.
Dude, it's
I got a lot to lose.
Well, you're also you're a big dude, Dan. You're big
but I should be around 250. Like I'm basically Eric's size. Like I'm an inch shorter, and I'm probably equally as broad, right? I've just got to like Eric narrows a lot more at the waist than I do, which is kind of what I want, right? Like I've got broad shoulders, and I can probably pull off looking terrifying if I could just narrow my fucking waist.
You can get that. It's just like it's because like when the quarantine shit lockdown stuff first started and I couldn't lift anymore, I started doing these prison burpee workouts.
Yeah,
and I lost 10 pounds like over the course of about a month and a half, pretty quickly. And I've kept those, and I've implemented them to where like you do 5x5 heavy 3 days a week, and in between those I'll do these prison burpee workouts. And the results have been
or whatever. Yeah.
The results have been pretty astounding, and it's a lot like fight training, like I used to do, where you're doing like heavy weights and cardio just all the fucking time, but it's not so much wear and tear on your body.
Yeah, toughest thing I always have is my career, right? Because I'll get up at different hours every day too. Like it's not like I start every day at 6 a.m. If I start one day at 6, I'm probably starting the next day at 4 and the next day at 2. So like your shifts change all the time. So there's a lot of days where either at the start of the day or at the end of the day, you're just like, even though I didn't really do anything physically demanding, you drove for fucking,
you're just exhausted. Yeah.
Like I'm fucking done. And I mean, I made the mistake of getting into truck driving. Is probably the big deal, right? It's a career that there are guys out there that are staying in shape, and I got to start bugging them at the truck stops. Like, what are you doing? Because there are guys that are out doing walks or lifting weights and, exercising how they can. But, fucking video games and pizza is just a lot
It'll
more
get
fun.
you.
Oh fuck yeah.
Was it Derrick? I think Cass is asking about that Sistema you got, the new one, or the one that he got, because we're pretty convinced it's your old one, the Hal build.
Oh, really? Is
It's
it poop brown?
It's the doo-doo brown, baby. I'm
Then
pretty.
yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
probably
positive.
it. Because there's only a couple of those.
Even Zero, whatever Cass put in the picture, he was like, "That looks awfully familiar."
Probably.
I've never really gotten into the whole Sistema thing. I've thought about it in the past, but like,
I got into it and then quickly got out of it.
I watched one of our guys buy one. The first big game he took it to, within the first 25 minutes of the event, he took a header into a fucking swamp, and that gun did not function for the following 2 years.
You have to be an absolute masochist. I have 2 of them right now.
Yeah.
And you have to have 2 things: a good Sistema Tech, which is almost impossible to find stateside.
Yep.
There's one, and it's John Zero from X Customs here in North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, the gun's not going to work for a year. It's just fucking not. Just whatever you do, the hop-up's got to break in, the barrel's got to break in, the fucking motor's got to break in, that cylinder's got to break in.
Almost.
Wow.
It ain't going to shoot for a year, and your mags aren't going to feed properly until they're broken in. I got
expensive mags.
I got 12 of those goddamn PMags, and those motherfuckers do not work for at least a year, and it's infuriating.
Fuck,
I leave them loaded. I leave them with BBs in them, and they still like don't break in because they double spring those fucking things.
Oh shit.
That sounds similar to the to recoil shocks, at least in the fact that you need a good tech, and they're fucking impossible to find in the continental U.S.
He does those too. Fatco is fantastic at those as well. If you, at this point in time, anyone that wants to get into Sistemas, I always recommend them to get the NGRS instead.
Yeah,
like I love my Sistemas, and like they're like this one. This one's got some black magic voodoo in it. Like it's chrono in it 330, and I run 3.2s in it, and it still gets 300 feet. Like it should, like, and that's 330. It's shooting 330 with like 2s. So it's getting like maybe 215 with the 3.2s out of the bitch. Yeah. But they sail. The air seal's so ridiculous, and the hop up is so good. It just fucking floats them out there, and I never have a problem with it.
I've kind of walked into that with the polar. Oh, where is that gun? Oh, it's somewhere. I don't know where it is. But it's like the Polar Star.
Now
CGS.
it's show and tell time.
Yeah, it's show and tell time. No, I'm not gonna get up because I'm wearing my fucking UDT shorts right now, and I don't want to.
Well, you might as well show everybody. They all want to see shirtless. They might as well see in fucking.
Well, I've got these glorious.
Hey, there we go.
Well, you get some belly button out of it too.
Oh yeah, man. No, I ended up picking up that we're gonna have a fucking calendar shoot with these things, but as far as like as far as like guns go, like I've got the oh, here it is. Hold on.
Well, if you're getting stuff,
look at them pasty legs.
Yeah, dude,
I'm white as fuck, but
it's
like got like the Polar Star CGS stock in it, so it's got the 33 gram CO2s. Oh, it's awesome. That and a Redline N7. It's basically just like a.
How many rounds do you get out of those CO2s?
Like 550 to 600.
That's not bad.
No, it's awesome, man. I mean, I don't shoot a whole lot, and when I'm running 4s out of that thing, I'm getting 250 feet of range, no problem. So I'm not shooting a whole lot.
I shoot like into the entire day. I will have maybe gone through 5 or 6 mags at games. Like I just don't shoot a lot unless I can hit you, and even then it's like 1-2. But what's really fun is the other one I've got is this fucking thing. I've had kids try to buy this goddamn pistol grip off me at games. I didn't even know what it was. Like it just came with the gun when I got it from Zero.
Is it just like it's a blue A2 pistol grip?
Yeah, it's just the blue grip. I don't know what it is, but kids get
GMR uses it.
So I found out that's what it is, and these kids get rock hard off of that thing. I've had kids try to buy that off me at events. Like I just want the grip. I'll give you like $400. I'm like, dude, that maybe. Just let me finish playing. Let me get the fuck out of here.
You got to show up with an Oscam mini mag or mini map, and then people start offering you like $1,500 for the fucking thing.
All of my shit's always repro. The only like nice piece of kit I have that's like legit is I got one of those all skill no luck night camo tops.
Ooh,
one of the ones
those
with the
are
hoods.
Nice. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's it's sexy. I love that thing, and that's like everything else. Like I got a Z-Shot JPC, and then I got a bunch of fucking TMC knockoff shit that Derrick like wants to burn me on a cross for being a center for.
I've got a buddy in Afghanistan right now who I convinced to buy. He wanted an AVS. I'm like, well, you can get the Z-Shot one, which is pretty much the same exact fucking thing.
It works.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just doesn't
Same
take
thing.
the back panels though, because the zippers are different.
Yeah, but
Apparently.
if you're just using it to fly on helicopters and you want to be comfortable, then you don't need a back panel.
It's funny every time I buy a piece of like knockoff equipment. Like I bought a knockoff. I'm gonna get a real one, but I bought a knockoff Spiritus chest rig, and I immediately sent Derrick a message. I was like, "Forgive me for I have zhinged."
Heresy.
He was like, "You son of a bitch."
Fuck.
Spiritus stuff is cool, but like we've got a guy who does a very similar plate carrier, except you can have it with 2 different camouflages on it, so it can be like M81 and DCU at the same time. And I'll run that thing instead of whatever
Right.
Spiritus is offering.
Right
I don't
now,
want to spend $400 on a plate carrier, you know?
dude, it's
Yeah.
rough. Well, right now, the thing I'm going for is M81, and then the gear is going to be Ranger green and black.
Ooh.
And I think that looks fucking hot. Like the fucking I saw one of the LV 119s, one of the Spiritus ones, where it's all Ranger green and the elastic cummered one was black and all like the accents were black. And I was like,
yeah.
ooh, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's real fine. It's also like $900 fucking dollars for everything. But
Well, it's $900 when you end up buying it off the aftermarket. When you can get it from Spiritus directly, which is pretty much impossible at this point because they sell out in like 3 or 4 minutes. When you get it from Spiritus directly, you
Crazy.
get everything for like $300. Same thing
rabid
with like the
fans.
Tiger Stripe Cries, man.
Dude,
They were like $400 when they
hilarious.
came out, and then everyone's like, "All right, $1,200, buy them now." It's like, what is this, a fucking Yeezy?
And they're
drop?
selling at that
Yeah.
price too. People are buying it.
So who's buying this
Yeah.
shit? That's the thing. Like I
Lots.
can get. That's why I love having like a tactical gear tailor as a good friend of mine, because I can just send him a pair of like Tiger Stripe BDUs and have him turn them into essentially cry pants, just with random Tiger Stripe material that I send with him.
So I love seeing Punk get like nice gear and then just commit heresy on it. He'll get like cry pants and then just like hot glue some fur onto the shit. It's like he doesn't give a fuck. He'll cut them up, tear them apart.
Oh, I've
Is he
seen somebody
rich?
take the Tiger Stripe.
No, he'll come across like ridiculous deals somehow.
Oh, okay.
Like, or he'll find them at like I got a military surplus store here though. I've walked in there and found like cry pants just chilling for like $50 because
Oh, wow.
they didn't know what they were. They had no idea. There's just
Yeah.
like they were knee padded pants.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I know somebody who took the Tiger Stripe cries and then cut them into shorts,
Oh my god.
just to infuriate the pores.
Yeah. Wow. That infuriates me, and I don't quite count myself as a poor yet, and that still makes me mad.
Oh, you're running Desert Tiger Stripe. You're not a pore.
Wow, it was just fucking true spec. It's not like it's like super.
I would say that's when you buy the TMC Desert Tiger Stripe and you're like,
Yeah.
"Wah."
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not quite Rothko, okay? It's not up there, but it's it'll do the
Calling
job.
Rothko a quality brand. Oh my god.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah. Now we're getting to that part of the podcast where if anyone in the chat wants to ask some questions to the boys, to our guests, go ahead and shoot them, because we're pushing on 2 hours, and I know both of us, or all 4 of us, are getting to the point where it's probably time to either get to bed or keep drinking
Or
Both.
start drinking.
or start drinking.
Yeah, I didn't have any alcohol with me because I keep forgetting to go to the liquor store and stand in line for 2 hours to buy that shit. So.
Oh, I can imagine that liquor stores up there are probably packed.
Oh yeah. Well, the beer stores are usually worse because we've got separate beer stores, right? But our liquor stores have been. It's just there isn't one close, right?
They're doing deliveries in Texas.
Oh yeah, they don't do that.
Dude, it's only because of COVID, and because of COVID, they're doing liquor store deliveries and like drive-through liquor barns and shit.
Yeah.
And
It
wonderful.
tripped me out the first time I ever saw a drive-through liquor store in the States. Like, it was a couple years ago. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. This is the
Louisiana
land
during-
of opportunity.
I was in Louisiana during Mardi Gras a couple of years ago, and it was crazy because I was with some friends, and they went through a drive-through liquor store, except essentially they made them like a gigantic Everclear margarita
Yep.
and handed it to them.
You get the
and
drink, yeah.
Holy
to
cow.
get away
Yeah.
from the whole open container thing, they just put tape over the straw.
Yep. We have those in Texas. They're called Eskimo huts down here. But
Oh,
what tripped
that's
me out about
fantastic.
Louisiana was walking into a 7-Eleven and seeing Jack Daniels on the shelf, and I was like,
It's
"What the
nuts.
fuck?"
Louisiana doesn't have any laws. I think all of those got washed away during Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah. New Orleans.
PTS KWA ERG was unveiled years ago. Shot. Do you think they have scrapped it? No, didn't PTS come out with like the Centurion or whatever? Like they've got the Centurion arms ERG.
But you talking about the KW? I've got one actually. Hold on.
Yeah, no,
It's-
KWA
it's
came out
not-
with a ERG
Yeah.
that's under the PTS line.
Oh,
It's
ERG
not- it's not a
Masada.
myth. It's right here. Hold on.
Oh,
a second.
ERG Masada.
Oh, the Masada. I was gonna say because
Yeah.
their T10 has their new ERG system in it.
I was gonna say
and
that KWA and Magpul no longer have a license after the.
Yeah, I think KWA's got nothing to do with Masadas or ACRs anymore anyway.
I think Magpul is just totally separated from all those brands.
Yeah.
I think they kind of got tired of the whole airsoft industry with all the copying and shit that goes on in it.
I blame them.
I'm assuming Stop Frontin' is Cass. He wants to know if there's spots for Desolation open. Yes, there is, and yes, you should attend it. And if you're drinking right now, we're gonna bully you into attending it. Come to Desolation 3. It's gonna be fucking great. I'm
Where
going
is
to
that?
attempt. It's
That's Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Skirmish Paintball. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's one in if we can do it. There's one in Oklahoma as well.
Yeah, it's D-Day Adventure Park.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's
D-Day is always a good time. That's where Broken Homes usually at. I think the only things I'm making now at this point, because I have a kid due in November, so like the only thing I'm going to be able to do is.
Man.
Thank you. I'm going to go up to Colorado to see Derrick for that Jackal 5 game, and then I think Southern Front just because it's at D14, which is like 45 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, just nothing. I'm pretty much done until like 2021 probably.
I'm looking at moving to Texas after a couple of deployments, so I'm interested in seeing what kind of fields you guys got out there.
D14 is excellent. There's 3 within 45 minutes of my house. There's 878, D14, and DFWAP. DFWAP's a smaller, like, paintball style field that does airsoft. D14 is enormous. Like, that place has got 100 kids, like, any given Saturday. There's, like, 100 people out there playing.
Okay.
And 878 is a smaller, like, I'd say 30 to 40 people, but it's a decent field. It's got a lot of land, too. There's just so much land out here. Like, it's wild.
That's part of the reason why I want to go there. I'll be able to sit on my back porch, sip a beer, and shoot some hogs with a Spreadshirt under blackout.
Property value is nice here, man.
life.
It's cheap.
Is it still cheap? I thought it was going up, and how many people from like California and stuff are moving out there?
It depends on where you are in Texas. Like if you're in the San Antonio area, I know that's starting to.
If you're in San Antonio or Austin or somewhere like that, you're fucked. But you go anywhere like DFW area, like the Metroplex, man, you can go out in boonies and get good amount of property for fucking nothing.
I'm looking at San Antonio only due to the fact that they've got an Air Force base there with intelligence contractor jobs there, and I'm thinking, it's a good way to make money, but. I mean, shit's fucking expensive out there. It's crazy.
San Antonio is cool, though. It's a nice town.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I love the Riverwalk. I love all the tourist traps from San Antonio, but I'm also a huge Spurs fan, so,
There you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, North Texas is so fucking flat. You swear to God, you squint hard enough, you see the back of your own head, so that's always fun.
Yeah, North Texas is an interesting place. I did my basic training in Oklahoma, and
you go to
that place is a fuck. I never want to go back to Oklahoma.
Oh yeah,
Oklahoma's terrible. We always give Corey
awful.
give Corey so much shit because he lives in Oklahoma City. And he's a cop
Sorry
there.
for his loss. Holy fuck!
He loves it.
I was like 45 minutes outside of Oklahoma City. I was like in Lawton, Oklahoma, which is just meth capital of Oklahoma. Is a fucking shithole.
Making it the meth capital of the world, probably.
Absolutely, dude. Fuck Oklahoma.
I mean, you got your choices there. You go you go back to Oklahoma City. You're in the fucking tornado capital of the fucking U.S. So.
I was on a bus to my basic training base, and we almost got hit by a fucking tornado. We saw it cross the road about a mile in front of us.
I think tornadoes are bad. Wait till you see meth-nados.
Meth-nados?
Meth-nados,
oh,
baby.
God.
There's places in Oklahoma where I swear to God, you step outside and you just hear it on the wind.
I got you. Someone's asking G17 over Glock 17 or over Glock 19, like one over the other. Do you like a compact handgun or a full size?
So I carry a 19X actually.
Yeah.
EDC. So this big bitch is down my pants at any given point in time. For airsoft, same thing. Glock 19X.
I got a 19X for airsoft. I fucking love it.
Yeah. What's funny is this. I actually just upgraded and got this holster. This is that company called TXC.
Yeah.
I can carry this thing appendix and wear a T-shirt, and you can't see it.
Oh, nice.
That's wild how well this. And this is not a small. This is a beefy bitch.
No, that's 17 full-sized Glock 17 frame and a 19 slide.
19X is 19 slide and 17 frame.
So it is amazing how well this thing is concealed because I can just go out in T-shirt and fucking jeans and.
Well, I think if you're
the 19 is my preferred.
If you're a fairly normal sized dude, I think the 17's not that big of a handgun anyways. Like the frame on a 17 isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's not obscene.
No.
By any means. But I do like that extra grip style on the 19X. It's just it feels.
That's what I mean, again, mine's airsoft that I really wanted. I wanted to get a Glock, and same thing. I just like that balance, like that mix between the two. And
I don't even bother with an airsoft pistol. Like I've got one, that thing never clears its holster. At some point, I want them to make like a version of like the U.S. Army, like the Army Civil War Colt, and I just want to hit big iron and just fucking. I'd probably actually use that.
Well, you can get the single action army from like Elite Force, and that's actually pretty solid. I used that at a Omega Productions event. Yeah, the Smoke Wagon. That's a lot of fun, dude. Smoke Wagon's fun.
I'm tempted to get one and just fucking put the whole like fully modern kit and just like the leather draw quick holster on the side.
Turn into Revolver Ocelot. I got you.
Yeah. Just spin shit around.
I've got a buddy who's out in San Diego, and he's an RSO, and he was an RSO, and his like carry gun as an RSO was like a full sized like H&K Mark 23. Like
Jesus
just if you want to flex on the pores with your double stack 45.
Just buffalo people with it.
Where does he carry it in his fucking backpack?
No, you don't. That's the thing. He's an RSO, so you can
single point sling.
Oh my god.
Single point sling. Yeah.
Fuck, handgun's not exactly small.
Good God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, as far as revolvers go, I think that you're not going to find a handgun that's more fun than a revolver. I have so much fun with revolvers at games. Like, even if it's like a hater, it's still a good time.
Yeah. Matt just commented that there's an ASG Schofield.
Ooh,
Schofield. The Schofield? Yeah.
What? All right, hold on.
No, I got to Google this too.
Right now.
Matt just mentioned that.
I'm waiting for somebody to make a 412 Rex, like the battlefield handgun, the break action Russian 357.
Holy shit, there is one.
Is there? Oh my god, you're right.
Give me. All right, I'm buying that right now.
How much is it?
You fucking son of a bitch.
I'm ordering this right now.
I gotta wait till I get paid before I can
mere
buy one.
$115.
Yes. Oh, it's got the fake ivory grips too.
Where'd you find it?
I'm looking at it on their website right now. I just need to figure out where I can buy it.
I found a European site, but that was it so far.
I don't think these are BBs though. These aren't airsoft guns. These are BBs.
Whoops.
Oh, hold on.
I'm assuming they're probably.
That'll make sure kids call their hits.
Exactly.
This may not. This one may. Let's see. Magazine length, velocity 135 meters a second.
Oh no, there is an airsoft.
Oh yeah, this one's an airsoft one.
There's airsoft and air guns. I'm on action sports games right now. I don't know if they're might not be greatest, but
I need it. I need it so bad. For the love of God.
Oh, that fucking sucks. I can't buy that for right now. Even if I couldn't get it into my goddamn country. I have to leave it at Eric's house.
It's out of stock just about everywhere I'm seeing right now.
Oh.
There's a couple that have got it. Pyramid Air's got one, but I gotta make sure that these aren't see, this one's the BB gun, CO2 BB revolver.
Yeah.
I check Octagon Airsoft because they always have weird shit. I got a IKEA plate carrier from them recently.
Bro, if anyone can get a line on that thing, I fucking want it. I want it real bad.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh man. Shit, now I don't have the money to start buying stuff right now, and I'm about to start buying stuff. Shit.
Eva carries the Webley, but who wants a fucking Webley? We want a fucking.
Are you telling me you don't want to blast people with what was it, like 5.77 caliber black powder fucking cartridges? Oh my god.
I just want to get that Schofield and pump some CO2 in it and drop like fucking 5 O's into that bitch. Just crack skulls with it.
No, that Schofield is really fucking cool. I like that.
Well, that's why the 8mm handguns are fucking hilarious, because everybody's gonna call their hits when they get hit by 8mm, especially if it's like a 4.6 or something stupid.
You're throwing a baseball at them. That's why I always love like when you can tell a kid's like shooting real hot at a field because you'll be in a bunker and it sounds like he's throwing fucking gravel at the side of the building.
It's nuts, dude.
What's that?
It's like, you got Allen key on you with that fucking HPA gun? What are you doing?
That's my brother loves running LMGs so much. Is he's not shooting hot, but as soon as somebody hides behind like a metal structure or like any sort of wooden shed, my brother just starts grinning because he knows the guy's gonna be scared shitless.
Well, I don't want to. I love Alphonse, but I don't want to play against Alphonse because
no.
Mark 48 and shit.
Yeah,
look like a fucking smallpox patient after you get done shooting.
Yeah, it's a hard fucking no.
Yeah, man.
Such
or he dumps a tag round into you at like 15 feet.
Those things. So you guys actually broke the story on that mortar that they made. That thing looks sweet.
Yeah, I did the editing on that video, and I was so excited when the fucking CEO at Tag In started sending me the fucking like the.
Did he has he hinted at how the fuck that's legal? or like
So,
if the
yeah.
ATF has even gotten wind of it.
So,
Don't ask.
we did a podcast with them, and essentially they send like samples of all of their products to the ATF to get tested, and make it ensure that it's going to be U.S. legal based off like the impact rating and whatnot. He was saying that like the actual mortar itself, like the rounds, when they get to the apex of their flight, they deploy like air brake fins, and
wow.
so like the actual impact on somebody, especially at least with the smoke rounds, is no more impact than like a paintball.
Because I was really curious because I got a hands-on look at some of their new 67s, and those things are packed with like a hard wax inside of there.
Yeah.
Those make me nervous, man. Aside
One
from
thing-
the fact that you can yeet that thing like a fucking cannonball because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
heavy as shit,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's got some mass behind it.
it's got some oomph.
One thing I will say is that their mortar is going to be fucking expensive.
Looks cool though.
Yeah.
You're
It's
looking
gotta
at
be.
Do you
looking
know
at like HK 416
approximately?
prices.
Yeah.
I'll
think
get
you
you.
said it was supposed to be like a team
I'll-
purchase or something.
Yeah,
right?
I'll send you the exact price after we're done with this bitch. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking expensive. But it's got a really really long
Like,
range.
Is that just the tube system itself or the rounds? Because I feel like the tube could be probably jerry rigged.
the tube is going to be rather expensive. The rounds themselves aren't going to be very expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but having him on the podcast was a good time because
Yeah.
something
that was
about
deep.
Russian people is he's
They're
he's saying that-
terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we take engineer, we send them into basement with sandwich, we lock basement, and they come out when they have idea.
Russian people are
Oh
terrifying.
my god. What's that Dave Chappelle skit? It's like I'll burn your feet.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But anyway, why is there no Browning power for high power for airsoft? There is a good Browning high power. It's the WE one. It's actually pretty solid. They don't have any like third generation ones though.
Well, why the fuck you want a Browning high power nowadays? Holy
Listen,
fuck.
don't talk shit on the Browning high power.
Yeah,
Okay? It's pretty-
my country's military used it until they fucking switched to Sig Sauers. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the high power, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm at the point now where like if I'm gonna buy handguns, I just want modern handguns.
I'm just gonna reiterate it. Airsoft handguns suck. They're terrible. I
You know
hate them
what?
all. Every last one.
My handguns, it's like you said, like they never leave my holster, but they pretty much get exclusively used for when one of my, especially in Canada, one of my buddies, inevitably their rifle goes down in the middle of, like we'll be walking around, firefight happens, damn it, my rifle doesn't work. Here's my fucking handgun. That's all they ever get used for. Like
It's like the dunce cap of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here, stomach.
my 19X has basically only ever been actually shot in a game by other people. And they love it. My buddy's like, "This is the fucking best pistol I've ever used." I'm like, "That's great. I wouldn't know.
I've never shot
used it." Like I've shot, targets, but fuck, I've never actually shot at a person with it. So
Yeah.
I know.
I know the Mark 23s are pretty well loved by people who do like sniper builds or whatever.
Yeah,
The TM1's pretty good.
they're dummy quiet.
Yeah, they are. It's just it's one of those things where like people, like airsoft developers picked like literally an assault handgun or whatever the US SOCOM was trying to define it
The
to be
offensive
like
the offensive handgun,
the offensive handgun to be used as like the quietest sneaky boy fucking sidearm you can get.
Yeah.
And it's like, just because it was in Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, but that trigger sucks ass.
Oh yeah.
It's a double action
Yeah.
trigger. It's gonna be so fucking heavy every time you fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
That slide don't move.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, unless anybody else has any extra questions, I think we might call it here. Somebody asked what happened with Amy and Speed Sim. Amy's taking a break from Airsoft. She's been playing for 15 fucking years, so you can kind of get burnt
Ooh,
out
yeah.
after you've been playing for that long.
Yeah.
Plus owning
Amy
a
like
field.
Amy's
Yeah.
from
Oh,
Georgia.
owning a field is awful. Airsofters are the worst.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude. The
Yeah.
stories that I've heard come from that girl talking about having to deal with garbage people at airsoft fields, plus having to play at her own field. It's just boring.
Yeah.
Man, so
It is all your fault.
people
viewer
get
base.
burnt out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like I said, I know she's really into drones now. She's doing a lot of drone racing and flying around and shit. So
I need to get me a drone, like
Yeah.
a DJI drone to fuck around with
Those are
ATAG.
cool.
Throw like a
Yeah.
thermal camera or
Mhm.
something on top of it,
Yeah.
so I can
Yeah.
do my real job, except when I'm playing MSW. Yeah, be a good time.
Yeah.
But
if
yeah,
we can go to SW.
I'm going to Saratov as a cadre member, so I'm excited for that.
I'm pissed. We just announced during the podcast, Canada's announced that they're extending the border closure by another month. So now it's September 21st.
That sucks.
Ooh.
When the next possible opening might be.
Well, I mean,
So-
Saratov is on the 23rd through 26th or 23rd.
Yeah, it's going to be
Something like
literally the
that.
exact same as this month. It was supposed to be the 21st of August was when they might open up. So right before Desolation, I might have been able to like just easily go. So now it's going to be the same thing with Saratov.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guarantee it's not going to happen anyways. I said you fucking degenerates can't stop licking doorknobs and stuff down there. So everybody's still getting sick.
Yeah, everybody gave up on that shit in Texas like a weekend,
Oh, yeah.
and our
Well-
cases fucking went sky high, and still nobody gives a shit.
Well,
so
and you
it's
get
weird.
certain areas where I just came back from Wisconsin and I went through like the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and like the population's so low up there that most people are not wearing masks, and they're probably not really going to experience it much, right? It's the same thing with Canada. Like we have literally 10% of the U.S. population, so like, and much more landmass. So yeah, we're encountering people less.
Yeah.
It's when you're like in like L.A. or Miami, like any of the big cities, and people are walking around without masks, then it's like, then it's going to spread, right? But when you're in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, I know southern Texas is busy, but I usually end up going through northern Texas, and there ain't fuck all out there. Outside of Amarillo, there ain't much.
No.
There ain't
So
shit to do.
it's- Yeah. Go to the fucking Cadillac Museum and stare at some idiot who tried to bury fucking cars.
You mean the Corvette
This-
Museum?
No,
Cadillac.
it's
They're
Cadillac.
Cadillacs they call it the Cadillac Museum, but they're
Yeah.
all like half sunk into the dirt with like the fins sticking out.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
gotcha, okay.
some guy who was like didn't want him repoed or something like that.
No, it was too
Buried a
much to
bunch of them.
junk them. Yeah, and he started
Yeah,
just half burying them, and then some asshole set a bunch of them on fire last year.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
shitty.
really?
yeah,
That
yeah, it
sucks.
sucks.
I mean, they were all graffitied up and shit, but yeah,
yeah,
they're
they're
all
cool though. Yeah,
pointed
Yeah.
ass out of the
Okay.
ground on an angle.
I thought you were
Let's
talking about the
talk
Corvette
about
Museum.
TFK.
Oh,
No,
talking
no,
about
no, no.
TFK. Oh, Jesus. No,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Corvette Museum where like they all fell into a goddamn sinkhole.
No.
And they kept the museum open. That's
Yeah,
some Kentucky spirit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's I go past there a lot for work. That's still open. But no, the Corvettes, it's literally just Corvettes in a Cadillacs in a farm field,
It's cool.
sticking half out of the dirt. Then you go to the other side of Amarillo and you get the fucking Air Force Base. Where they're fucking, I think there's an Air Force Base there. There's always fucking planes. and
Is
shit
it
flying.
Amarillo that has the big Texan restaurant with the giant cow out front?
Oh fuck! I usually just blow right through there.
Yeah.
Which is the restaurant that has a man riding a shrimp on it?
Probably
talking-
several.
No,
There's
it's,
probably several of those in Texas. But
Yeah.
not-
is that a man riding a shrimp? Never seen that YouTube video. I'll link it
Nope.
afterwards. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're pushing 2 hours. Any additional questions in the chat? Nothing really.
Yeah. Max wants to talk about keg. That's basically it.
Oh boy.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Get your fucking multicam and your ACU IOTV. Fucking sign up for Task Force Keg.
Hate yourself.
Hate your life. Yeah. Hate yourself. And fucking die at Milsom West.
Exactly.
Self-loathing must be at least
Yeah.
this high.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you don't hate yourself while you're part of Task Force Keg, you're not doing the fucking. You're not
Yeah.
existing correctly.
No, your pain must achieve this level
Yeah.
to ride the bus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But anyway, GunGamers podcast episode something or other 26, 27. something like that. I don't keep track anymore.
You have
Dude, it's a
26.
bitch to
Listen,
keep track of.
It's 26 according to the fucking video. So
Okay. But yeah,
Great.
GunGamers podcast episode 26 with myself, Dan, and our two guests, Derrick and Cole. It's been real, guys.
Absolutely,
having
man.
us on.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's been great, man.
yeah.
All right, take it easy, y'all.
Adios.
Okay. And